Hello everyone on YouTube and Twitch. How's it going? Hope you're having a good week so far. Hope you're doing well. It's freezing where I am. It's so fucking cold. So anyway, today we're going to be doing something a little different, similar to stuff we've covered before. People like Taquan, credit scammer, for instance. We're going to cover him, but there's this Twitter account called TikTok Investors, who catalogs, let's just say, bad all the way to criminal advice on TikTok, so that'll be funny. We're going to basically watch people give terrible advice or how to commit crimes and not realize it. So, should be fun. Been watching since Momo was your biggest fan? Oh boy, that is a long time. Oh. Let's see, Aaliyah Explores, thanks for gifting a sub, and I think that catches us up, so let's jump into it. I am dual streaming. The Ethernet cord came in today. I wasn't able to use it because I'm an idiot. Let's not get further into that. Momo was the username of someone who was a fan on YouTube like a decade ago. Hope they're doing okay. Anyway, so we are still using Wi-Fi, at least as of right now. I am dual streaming. If things get shitty, I will go to Twitch, and we'll have to do a pause on the simul streaming until I'm able to figure out what's going on, whether it's the router or the actual, like, LAN cable that goes to the router from the thing. Either way, just letting you know, heads up, working on the internet situation. I apologize if there's any hiccups. We will deal with them as they come up, and if it gets to the point that it is obnoxious, we will switch just to Twitch, and we'll revert back to the Thursday YouTube stream schedule until I'm able to get the internet situation dealt with, which might take a week or two. Just depends on, you know, the ISP and what they think needs to be done. So anyway, all that out of the way, let's get into it. Here's some bad advice from some influencers that travel all around the country. I think they're van life or RV life types. This is such bad advice.
So, how do we make money from home? For starters, this is not a sponsored video. We just get the...
Oops, sorry. Need to turn it up on your end. I can hear it. You almost certainly can't.
So, how do we make money from home? For starters, this is not a sponsored video. We just get this question all the time, and honestly, the answer is really simple.
So basically, I just trade stocks on an app called Robinhood, which I left a link in our bio if you want to check it out. It's free to download, free to sign up. They actually give you a free stock, so they're paying you to sign up. But again, not sponsored. And I know trading sounds intimidating. Here's my strategy in a nutshell. I see a stock going up and I buy it, and I just watch it until it stops going up, and then I sell it, and I do that over and over, and it pays for our whole lifestyle.
They're acting as though day trading is an easy activity that people make money at easily and with little effort. The vast majority of people lose money day trading. Don't do that. This is bad advice. The idea that all you have to do is buy low, sell high. That's not how complex the stock market is. You can't just say, like, well, it's at the top, it stopped going up, I'm done. Like, as soon as you buy the stock, it might go down. Like, it'll go down sometimes. That's the market. Stromboli says missed bits, but it's okay. 'Twas cringe. If you say so. No, this one isn't illegal. This one's just bad advice. They're not all illegal. Some of them are just bad. Some of them are just really stupid advice.
If you're wondering how much you can make doing this, in this month I turned about 400 into 14,000.
Like, you bought a stock that went up almost 3,000% in the last month? What the fuck? No, that's your portfolio as a whole. That's not it. Sorry, it's been a while since I used Robinhood. It's been since like 2021. That's overall. You had a 3,000% gain. No one is going to get a 3,000% gain consistently. If that's even fucking real, that's insanity.
And in this month I turned less than 1,000 into 20,000.
Bullshit, sir. What are you doing?
And
this is such bad advice.
Honestly, my favorite part about this isn't even the amount of money you can make, but just the fact that we don't have to go to a 9-to-5 job.
Yeah, we can focus on things that we actually enjoy doing. So if you have...
Why doesn't everyone just do this and play the line goes up game? The world would be so great if everyone just did nothing and made money off the magic line that always goes up.
Friends that like want to make money from home, you can tag them or send them a link, or if you make money this way, share it in the comments so other people know like there's more people doing this now.
Do they have like a sign up link or something? Because they said it's not sponsored, but it felt so sponsored. They might run pump and dumps, maybe who knows. Oh, this is terrible. Some more hustle culture bullshit.
I have ladies that ask me all the time, hey, I feel guilty because I'm in business and I have my kids and I'm not spending time with them. I'm like, well, how much time are you giving them? They're like, well, a couple hours. And I'm like, a couple hours? I mean, that's freaking a lot of time. It really is. I give my kids 20 minutes. 20 minutes. My kids don't need more than 20 minutes, but in those 20...
You think your kids don't need more than 20 minutes of your attention a day as a parent? Oh my god. You're terrible. This is terrible. That's neglect. What are you doing?
20 minutes when I'm home, I'm a different woman every day for my kids. When I see them, we play Ring Around the Rosie on the outside. You know, we play...
For 20 minutes, though. I do have an alarm set.
Throw them, I'll do things they don't expect me to do. I don't sit and I don't play with my phone when I'm with my kids. I try to surprise
It's 20 minutes. That's not impressive.
them. I try to do stuff that they don't expect. That's the thing. You're not making the best
What is she, a dad?
out of your time. Sometimes your kids get used to you just being there and not really being there. I have ladies.
Jesus Christ.
Let's go.
Okay, here's one of the criminal ones. Oh, no, no, no. Oh, God. Okay, that's a follow-up. I'll show you the first one first, and then we'll do the follow-up.
My girl Shay was able to get
How my student with no job got $150,000 in funding to close on her first Airbnb. The secret ingredient is crime.
My girl Shay was able to get $150,000 in funding just to close on her first Airbnb, and she didn't have no job, no proof of income, and she had no revenue in her business. Okay, the first thing she did was have an LLC, and then she built her relationships with multiple banks like Navy Federal, PNC, Bank of America for at least 30 days. She didn't have to buy no trade lines, have no net 30s, or list herself, or even have a business address. The way she was able to do that was she applied for every product that each of these banks had on their website, and then she liquidated the credit cards to put down on her first Airbnb. If you want to do the same, DM me business.
So here's how this goes more in depth. This is the crime part.
How to get high credit card limits, let's go. So the first thing you want
This is similar to what Taquan does, basically creating fictional transactions. Not exactly the same. He is committing credit card fraud, and this is also fraud upon banks.
to do is you want to sign up for QuickBooks. Then you want to go ahead and send yourself an invoice. Since I have multiple LLCs, I'm going to send my other LLC an invoice for $2,100, and I'm going to put the limit there, and I'm going to put how much or what it's for there, and then I'm going to send it over. Once I receive the invoice, I will then pay it off with the credit card I want to increase my limits with. It will then deposit into my bank account. Once I get the money in my bank account, I will then pay off the credit card with the same exact money. Once I pay off the credit card, I will do this a couple times, and I will then call my bank and ask them for a credit limit increase because my limits are too low.
Basically creating fraudulent transactions to make it look like you're putting stuff on a credit card and paying it off a lot. But in reality, it's just the same money that's not even from another business. It's just you sending money to yourself. It's basically wash trading your own money through your credit card to make it look like you're using it a lot and paying it down a lot. Don't do that!
A bonus is that QuickBooks will also give you funding because it looks like you're making sales on their platform.
Again, I need to understand with stuff like this. Do they know that they are describing fraud? Do they know this is crime? Because they're acting like they found a cheat code. Like they're like acting like, ooh, I found this quick tip. Like it's not a tip. It's crime. Like people have thought about this. This is not new. Oh. This guy sounds like Mike Lindell. This is unrelated. It's a Beanie Baby salesman. Is this Mike Lindell? Because it sounds a lot like him.
Literally sells itself. That's how hot this is.
I'm going to tell you, this deal is so good that I can hardly wait to read the net tomorrow to hear what people have to say about what we did. We have, literally, there are 28 Beanie Babies in here when you consider retirements that can literally pay for everything right now. 94 different Beanie Babies. We're going to give you the $400 Maple Bear free in this package. Look at that. We're going to give you the $400 Maple Bear free. You are going to get guaranteed. Do you know now? Glory's in here. Wait till, and again, we haven't even gotten started yet, folks. Here's the deal.
Like, it sounds exactly like him.
Are you ready? You are going to get every single current American Beanie Baby release. That's a $400 Beanie Baby.
By itself.
By itself. We sell them out at $399.95. Maple, Princess, Aaron, Peace, Glory. We're going to give you all 28 of the May retired Beanie Babies.
Did we run that at $5.99? Is that right?
Originally. What are we selling them per Beanie Baby? Did you break that down?
$21.27. I'm ahead of you.
Oh my gosh. $21 a piece. Oh, what we got? Zip, Make sure I've got them all right. Zip the Cat is now bringing over $100, and it just retired in May. Hippity hoppity and floppity. Rumor has it they're going to retire. I've heard this. Something could happen September 1st with the Princess Bear. Do you know if that retires, that bear alone will cover the price of everything? That bear alone will cover
The Princess Diana bear is not worth much. People think that. If you ever have a Beanie Baby and you find it in an attic and it's a Princess Diana bear, it's a meme that those are rare. If they're not rare, you'll sell it maybe for $15 on eBay. They are not rare at all. They're Beanie Babies.
price of everything. Maple's $400. You want to know something? If you can afford it, buy it.
Oh boy.
Here we go with the number. Here we go with the numbers. Let's just flip this baby around.
MH Darkbeast says, praise to be Hannah, our Twitch goddess. NECA every Monday has been proffering old stock, so I had to get myself a trans icon. Excuse me. The gremlins too, yeah. I stan Lady Gremlin. Leslie Rue, thanks for 9 months, says, somewhat long-time watcher and perpetual lurker here. Love your content. Your stream helps me get through slow days at work. Stay warm. I am doing my best. Thank you. This sub-baby's name is going to be Francine Pumpernickel. Francine Pumpernickel. Briar Rose says, I remember back in the day my mom had a whole web of informants looking for rare Beanie Babies as my brother collected them. She would drive all over central Indiana to get the rarest ones. Yeah, my grandma was very into Beanie Babies. Steve with the Q says, according to the internet, it is Mike Lindell.
It literally sells itself. That's how hot this
Is it, though? I don't want to say that just cuz. It just says that as a title. Someone else could certainly see this and go, that looks like him. I'll post it saying it's him, because it'll get clicks. Either way, very similar. Skifazo with 101 bits. Thank you. Hype Train, 37% to level 1. Look up Young Mike. Current price for a Princess Diana Beanie Baby, 12 to 15? Yeah. That's about what I said. I know what it is off the top of my head. You think I don't know the current price of a Princess Diana Beanie Baby off the top of my head? Why wouldn't I know that? Young Mike Lindell. I'm having a hard time finding young pictures of him. That's it. That's all of them. This is the closest. The mugshot.
So, how BTC can equal 100K? It's already hit 10K, so to 10x that, because it's going to be replacing gold.
Oh! Crypto shit. Good. Why do you think that crypto would be replacing gold? It's actually funny you bring this up. I know I cite Dan Olson a lot, but he recently put out a video about a gold industry propaganda video where he briefly talked about there actually being a lot of really good uses for gold. So despite me not understanding the weird gold bug people who are obsessed about hoarding it or whatever, at least it is a commodity that I understand. It's used for products. It's useful. I get it. Crypto's nothing. Crypto's the idea of a thing. So I find that to be pretty out there. Let's put it that way. Can Tether just collapse already? I'm kind of tired of the crypto stuff. Amber Pretzel says, have my ice-covered bits colder than Windhelm in my area. Miru-sama with 44 months says, just saw you were on. Hi. Hello. How you doing? 70% to level 1 on the hype train.
So multiply 10K by 10x, that equals 100K. And that is very conservative. Now,
is it?
For XRP, number one is that there is 1 million drops in 1 XRP. So basically, I'm not even going to say the price 589 because I believe that the price is going to go to 10K. And the reason why I believe it's going to go to 10K is
Don West was the name of the guy. Thank you, Baha. This stream was Baha's idea, by the way. She showed me some of these videos earlier, and I was like, that's a fun idea for a stream.
because if you have 1 million drops, okay, in one
Did I see GameStop are scrapping their NFT marketplace? I did. I'm not surprised, like, at all. But also, I got a little bit of happiness when that happened, I'm not gonna lie.
XRP, then if it was going to be
Fenekagami says it's like Dan said in his video, it's the idea of gold that crypto is replacing. He even mentioned this starting to happen. Yeah?
replacing money, because BTC is going to be replacing gold, but if XRP is going to be replacing fiat, and one drop equals 1 penny,
30 seconds on the hype
then
train.
you multiply 1 penny by 1 million drops, and that gives you 10K. So that is the math, folks. And
is that math? That's mostly words. Oh boy.
This is what it's like in a day trading team house.
Oh boy, a house full of Finn bros. I can smell it from here. Smells like Axe body spray and bad hygiene. Aaliyah with 100 bits, thank you. Thanks for the hype train, everyone.
The boys, we got the setups.
Yeah, so then... Well, it's 8 of us. Or 9. So if we're like basically all playing, I'll probably stay.
Does he really need the dual monitors on his laptop? I don't think he does. I think he's trying to show off. Oh my god. I know. They're looking at different like charts and stuff. I understand. That fucking RGB though.
Day trading team house, baby.
Day trading team house. Good god.
I'm going to turn this $50 into $10,000 with crypto. I'm a crypto noob. And I've already lost over $20,000 trying to get rich with it. But this time, I'm going to let crypto millionaires tell me exactly what to buy. There's tons of pros who post their crypto trades for free on this app Involio, so I'm going to choose some.
So they're using you to pump and dump, basically. As if my computer and accessories aren't RGB rather. Hey, I can change the colors. So it's not always those colors.
One, copy their exact trades and see what happens. I've seen this guy Sai who's made some insane profit, so I'm going to wait till he posts his next trade and copy it with the entire $50. Okay, it's the next day and he's just posted and said to buy this coin called Hyper.
This is pumping and dumping. You're getting involved in pump and dumps.
So let's buy it. So I bought in with the entire $50, put my phone down to do some work, and when I checked it just a few hours later, it had shot up to $200.
Wow, it's almost like that was a pump and dump. It's almost like this is the pump. It pumped.
Damn, this is crazy. I'm so tempted to sell right now, but he's saying to hold, so I guess we're...
Terradona says, you lost 20k, quit while you still got something.
And lucky I did, because only 1 week later, that $200 went all the way up to $1,000. Then the next day, it doubled into $2,000. The guy I copied isn't selling yet, but this is seeming way too good to be true, so I'm selling right now and waiting for his next trade. Follow me to see what happens in part 2.
Fucking hell. Aragon says, my uncle is a day trader and has been for a decade. He said the education, aka messing up, will cost you 50 to 100k. He doesn't recommend it to anyone who doesn't have money to live on already. Right?
We told you when the peak of crypto was going to be. If you use Ethereum, if you use USDC, what are the two first letters? All the addresses where you send money.
Oh yeah.
OX, right?
OX, yeah.
OX. So here's the thing. 2021, when crypto peaked, was the year of the OX. So they actually told people through the addresses, that's only one animal sign of all the animal signs. I interpreted that 2021 would be the peak. So yes, I do think there's going to be another run, but I think 90% of these cryptos are going to go bust very soon.
I wish I knew you in 21.
Ethereum, I think, is here to stay, because if you look at Ethereum, it has a pyramid at its logo. To me, that's a sign that they're connected to the higher powers because they're paying homage. We told
you. Is insanity contagious? It feels like I'm seeing it everywhere. Just absolutely everywhere. Everywhere I look.
I made $17,000 today using this simple strategy. I went to TradingView and opened up the Ethereum.
Why is it playing the Skyfall theme song? It's tinfoil all the way down. Unfortunately. The coin's bussin' for real, no cap. Oh, God.
Is my monthly allowance as a housewife in Dubai. So to start off with, my general shopping allowance is around $5,000. Then I have my luxury and designer shopping allowance, which is $15,000. I also have investment properties which are off plan monthly payments, and that equates to around $200,000 per month. And then we have weekly massages, which is around $1,000, manis and pedis, which work out to be around $500 per month. I don't get them done too often. Then I have my hair, skin, and just general treatments, which is around $8,000 per month. My makeup and skincare, which is around $2,000 per month, and then general food and date nights, which is completely unlimited because my husband wants me to put on weight. And if I don't spend the money from my allowance per month, then it goes into a savings account for myself, which is perfect.
Oh my fucking God. Aaliyah says, I have a friend whose boomer husband is a crypto bro. Meanwhile, he financially abuses her to the point where she can't even fill their car without begging, and then receipts. I hate him so much. Oh my God. That's scary. That's incredibly scary.
Spent $150,000 on this Porsche. Why are you wasting your money like that?
Remember, I'm not paying for the car, and also because of Section 179 plus bonus depreciation allows me to write the entire car off in year one.
Okay, what do you mean that you're not paying for it? Where's this money coming from?
Because I intend to use it 100% for one of my businesses, I'm going to be using it as a tax write-off. So
you still paid for it. That just doesn't count as income towards your total tax burden at the end of the year. That doesn't mean it's free.
So I get $55,000 in taxes I'm going to be saving. And plus, I just...
Not $55,000 in taxes. $55,000 worth of income goes untaxed. It's not a full fit... Oh my fucking God. You don't get that amount deducted from your taxes. That amount of money just is not taxed. So whatever amount of tax you would have at the top rate for that $55,000, that amount isn't taxed because it's no longer considered part of your income. It was business spending, assuming you actually are using this car exclusively for business, which I'm doubting. Benekagami says, yes, insanity is contagious. The exposure to insanity can over time gaslight one into the delusion of others. This is aided by massive stressors, like, for example, massive economic downturn and struggles. Oh, great.
Just recently bought an asset. It's an Airbnb property that's paying for...
Not all of them are crimes. Most of them so far have not been. They've just been really stupid.
The entire car.
But you're still paying for it though, right?
When I say I'm not paying for it, I'm not actively working for that income. So I have a team in place, and the Airbnb pays for all my staff as well. I only work about 30 minutes.
I cannot wait for Airbnb to crash. I know it's already, like, doing worse. I just need Airbnb to die. Just die.
To an hour per week just to manage everything, and that asset pays for the car.
Okay, so you're saying that you're saving $55,000 in taxes and you have an asset paying for this car. Where can people learn more about this type of stuff?
Just give me a follow at the Legacy Investing Show.
Jesus Christ. All right, let's check out Taquan. He's going to talk about the house he bought illegally with his crime money.
What's good, family? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Hopefully this live work because my last one went out. I guess it was like my internet reception or something.
The Langren with 22 months says, how can you possibly expect us to trust your comments on tax finance when you only have one single monitor on your computer, Hannah? I have two. I have two monitors. Chat's over here. Video's over here. Boom. I'm qualified. Bumble Homestead says, Boxy? Boxy's there. What about Boxy?
Give y'all a couple more seconds. Hey, family, how you doing? What's good?
Oh my God, can't do it.
What's up, fam? How y'all doing? Y'all know I had a glitch in my live. I just went live and I had to end it. And now I got to start a new one, because my old live had a glitch in it. or something like that. What's good, family? How y'all doing? What's up? What's up? I need help. My son's in prison. I'm gonna take care of him. Just contact me at the number that I had showed you. How y'all doing, family? What's good? What's good? We start in 2 minutes. So soon to hit 2 minutes, we can start. What's good? What's good, family? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? What's good? What's good, family? Bro, do you know anything about wholesaling houses? I'm familiar with it. I'm very familiar with it. I'm very familiar with it. I actually can bring it up later on in this live, and we can talk more about it. Hold on, family. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? I'm give it like 6 more seconds. 6 more seconds.
Oh my god, he normally only goes a minute and a half before he starts. Go.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna start off by saying pretty much. So I had a troll, right? He had commented on one of my videos, right? But actually, this is something that I actually wanted to explain.
I hate how troll has come to mean just like person who disagrees with you on the internet. A troll is someone who is intentionally just being mean or trying to fuck with you. It's not just someone who disagrees with you. Maybe that's not what's gonna be here. Just I know he calls people trolls who aren't necessarily trolls. So
explain to him, right? So a person asked me, is this a right time to purchase in the market, right? So say if a person want a home, they said, man, this is the peak of the market. This is the peak of the market. And I'm gonna tell you this, no, it's not. And people might say,
why would someone say that? Interest rates are higher right now. I don't know when they might go down. I don't know, but like, no, now is not a great time to get in.
Say why you think that? Because it has a lot to do with the area you pick, and it also has a lot to do with how you buy, right? So most of the times where you will see a person who purchasing a home or having struggle purchasing a home, they usually try to buy a home literally in the middle of where they already have everything established. I mean, like the stores, everything like that, the whole community established. That's like me buying and purchasing a house directly in Beverly Hills, right? Of course it's going.
Yeah, people would like to be around things. They don't want to be in food deserts and places where they, like, need to go long distances for basic needs.
Cost a lot, and it might feel as though...
That's also where jobs are, you know? Around other stuff is where people can get jobs, generally.
Is at the peak of the market, right? So what happened to me in my case and how I bought a home, right? I bought a home in an upcoming community, right? One of the fastest growing cities in the country, right? So by me purchasing a home in one of the fastest growing cities in the country, I purchased my home in an area where no house ever lived, meaning the whole...
He bought a house in a planned community in around Dallas, I think Dallas suburbs, in a planned community.
Entire community is brand new built. So I've been through this situation before. So
it's McMansion hell.
So, you know, when I lived in Florida, I lived in an area called Lake Nona, right? And behind our building, you literally had over about 200-300 lots, right? And now the prices that they wanted, right, was 420, 300, some you can find late 200s, 500. You get what I'm saying? And these are top-notch houses. These are top quality houses, right? And so, once the neighborhood got completed, the same community, right, that you can go to today, the same houses that they showed me, they want like 700 and some thousand. You get what I'm saying? So people got to understand it has a lot to do with where you buy at. It has a lot to do with location primarily, and it has a lot to do with the house, and it got a lot to do with the safety of the people. Because most people, remember, you paying for safety. You're not necessarily just paying to live in a beautiful home. You paying for...
Meek says, I'm surprised he's still around. I was expecting him to be arrested by now. He did have a case in Cook County, but I think he just left. He moved to Texas, and I think he just didn't do anything. I'm pretty sure he ghosted the judge, basically.
For the house, you're paying for the area, and you're paying for safety. Because you don't want to live in an area where you not comfortable in. You don't want to live in an area where it's questionable. You never want to live in an area where you have to risk your life. So of course it's gonna cost more. But it depends on exactly what you buy at is what gonna determine everything. Right? So I didn't pick a house or pick an area that I feel as though that will lose value itself. Because when I purchased the home and everything
Okay, I'm gonna find one where he's talking more specifically about his crimes, unless he gets into it later, because this is general boring stuff.
That's when I went on to study what factors of credit do the banks look at.
Okay, he's talking about the crime part. Okay, we're good.
You also getting greater, you also becoming a low risk borrower to any banking institution, and it allows you to get more funding. It's not going to help just buying a house. It was how I bought, how I bought the house, what all came with the house, what advantages do I have, right? Now, I will explain this in another video, right? It's just not really about the house, right? I had a personal agenda to attack, and one of the personal agendas is to buy a home. And like I always said, that has a lot to do with my credit journey and where I want to go, right? And so people might say, okay.
For those who have never seen me cover Taquan before, what he does is he engages in synthetic identity fraud. So he procures and sells what he calls, and what the community in general of these scammers call CPNs. Credit privacy numbers is what they call them, or credit protection numbers. It just depends. They're called CPNs. They're not a real thing. They act as though it's like, this is like a fresh social security number, basically, that you can use to start your credit over. It's not. That's not a thing. What it is social security numbers that have not been assigned yet. So, for those who don't know, when you are born and get a social security number in the United States, they don't make up that number right then with the card. They already have tons of numbers made, and they're waiting for someone to be born so it can be assigned. So there are scammers who will steal these numbers. They have a variety of ways of figuring out what these numbers are. They will steal them, sell them, or use them themselves in order to create fake identities connected to these numbers. And then they'll go out and buy cars, take out credit cards, buy shit on them, then, sell the stuff or keep the stuff and abandon the cards because it's not connected to their real identity. It's just a stolen number that they bought a bunch of shit with. So that's basically what's going on here. Oh, and then eventually that number will be assigned to someone, and when they turn 18 in a couple decades, they'll be like, holy shit, my credit's destroyed, and I've never had a credit card before, what's happening? And then they have to find out, oh, your credit card number, or rather, sorry, your social security number was used, before you were even born, and your credit's already fucked.
Buying a house give you a lot of money. It's not about you getting a lot of money. It's all about your credibility. So if you just starting off to be an entrepreneur, you just starting off.
Benikagami says, I used to think I'd like to live in the middle of nowhere. Then I got my current job and had to service those houses, and I hate it. 15 minutes from everything but a church. I'm convinced these people, how they like living out there, are largely antisocial. Some of the worst MAGA chuds I've ever seen live out there. Granted, that's not everyone, but still. Oh yeah, that was like my dad. He had us move out to the middle of absolutely fucking nowhere, and he's a big Trump guy and hates people, and there are legitimately just people who are like, everyone leave me alone. I never want to interact with other people. Fuck you. Like, that's some people. It's a shame. Is there a way to reset the credit if it happens? It's very difficult. But hypothetically, yes. Like, the feds are aware this happens, but it's a big pain in the ass.
Be, a person who want business lines of credit, and you want the banks to take you serious. Remember, I always said that you don't want to be a high risk borrower. And usually when I seen people for years and years and years who take on enormous amount of debt, of course the bank is 10 times more likely to extend credit to that individual. And so, I had plenty of personal reasons to get a loan, like a mortgage and everything like that, for those reasons alone, right? Because remember, I never dealt with my social. I just now put in the...
PM Trey says, due to a series of clerical errors, I have 2 social security numbers. You should get that fixed. That's gonna fuck you. That will fuck you at some point. I guarantee it. You should probably do something about that. I don't know when it'll fuck you, but it's like a sword of Damocles, except it's a dildo. It's the dildo of Damocles, and it is waiting to fuck you. You should absolutely get that fixed.
Counsel, and I'm just now building it out the real way. I'm realistically just now doing all of this, right? And so once you place in a position, that's when it'd be easier to execute. Because when you trying to execute on a level and you barely have any means and everything tight, I'm gonna explain one thing to you. Most businesses gonna fail because they not getting loans, they not getting lines of credit, they not getting anything to help them to assist the company. So yeah, some people might get a $1,000 credit card, but what that's gonna do? People got rent, people got mortgage payments, people got this, people got an entire family to feed, and you talking about $1,000. That's not gonna do anything.
Most people don't use credit cards to live off of because you're supposed to pay them back. I think he forgets that. You're supposed to normally pay credit cards back, not just abandon them and use them to buy things you never intend on paying back.
Form. That might can help a teenager who live with their parents and who don't never have to worry about a bill, and they just decide that they want to be entrepreneurs. That makes sense. But to a fully grown person, that's not going to help.
Does he not understand that to a lot of people, $1,000 is a bunch of money? Like, he's been doing this so long that he doesn't understand that to a lot of people, like, $1,000 line of credit, it's not a lot in the broad sense, but it's a lot if you need for an emergency like credit card, if something happens. Yeah, people need that sometimes. It's also a way to start to build credit, which apparently he doesn't care to do. Instead, he wants to do crime. Not great. DM Trey says, I tried. They said that I needed to prove another person with my name and birthday doesn't exist. Well, okay then.
And when I looked over, like, you know, lending criteria and how banks lend, and when I start looking through stuff like that, I'm like, what? It's very easy to attack the system in so many ways. It's so many ways to be creative. It's so many ways to be more articulate.
This is so dumb. Let me put it this way. I have no love for giant banks. I understand our financial system is fucked. I understand that wealthy people live by a different set of rules. I understand these things. You stealing from other people isn't a good thing in this case. You're not just harming this bank. You are harming the people whose social security numbers you are stealing. It just frustrates me. It frustrates me because I understand someone stealing, like, to survive. Like, I get it. I've been poor. I've been in situations years ago where, like, I was living in an apartment and I would literally go and pick blueberries and I'd get paid by the pound by this farm and it would be just enough money to get dinner that night and drive back home. Like, I get it. I have also been desperate. I understand. If you're stealing, like, to survive, and it's against something like a big supermarket or bank or something, I don't care. I look the other way, I get it. But that's not what he's doing. He's stealing hundreds of thousands of dollars from institutions. Like, he's stealing, basically, houses and goods. Like, he's stealing iPads and iPhones, because, again, that's what he does. He buys this stuff with the credit cards, abandons the credit cards, and then flips these things. Like, he is actively taking from other people. It's not just, like, numbers on a spreadsheet. If it was, I wouldn't give a shit. He is making a material difference to the supply of certain things. Not a ton, but enough. He is stealing hundreds of thousands of dollars of electronics so he doesn't have to, like, actually work. Like, he's not sticking it to wealthy assholes. He's just using crime to be a wealthy asshole that doesn't have a real job. It's frustrating. It's so frustrating. This isn't, like, petty thievery to survive. It's just a criminal way of life so he doesn't have to do anything. It sucks.
When it comes to lending, it's very easy to win. You get what I'm saying, family? So that was one of my main reasons of buying the house. Like I said, it wasn't just about the house.
Not to mention, he's going to convince a bunch of people to do this shit, and they're going to get in trouble. Like, that's just it. Like, there are vulnerable people who maybe don't know better, don't understand how serious the things he's telling them to do are, that will go to jail for this. And I get it. They're culpable, at least to an extent. But how many people out there are really delusional, or desperate, or ignorant enough to hear this and go, this is a good idea, and just do it without realizing? It's just not good. It's just really, really bad.
You know,
right? He could make a decent living. Like, he can speak to people. Like, he has a personality. At this point, he has money. If let's say I knew this guy in real life. If, like, I knew Taquan and I met him somewhere and we got talking or whatever, and he was like, oh yeah, like, when I first got started, I, like, defrauded the bank, you know, and I had to get some money, but then I was able to get some capital, and from that, you know, I was able to do this or that. Like, if he had used that to sort of actually bootstrap himself, as much as I hate that word, into, like, a better life, I'd almost kind of respect that. Like, you don't do crime. Don't do crime. But, like, if you did, and it was a little bit... If you Jean Valjean'd, that's a good enough reference. If you Jean Valjean yourself, I get it. If you're just continuing to be an asshole, fuck off. And if you didn't understand that explanation, I don't know what to tell you. Read a book. Prisoner 24601. The parole's begun. The worst part is people who follow the rules are the ones who pay for it through interest rates. The person who buys that house from him, the people whose social security number he stole. Fuck this guy. Yeah. H-Beard says, is he buying these houses under his own name or an alias? This could really mess up the title search process for the next people to buy the house. I'm not sure. I don't know. I gotta imagine he's doing something sketchy, but, like, would he do that in his house? He's done that with cars. Cars are... Excuse me. Cars are mobile, though. You can move them around. A house is a house. Like, if they find wrongdoing, they'll just foreclose. You can't hide a house, you know? So, I don't know. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know if he used his real name and information for this, or fake, or what.
Oh, it did plays a role, because I'm gonna tell you something, right? One of the reasons why I did bought the house, right? Because I always told people that, quote unquote, I'm a convicted felon. Now, people might say, what do that have to do with anything, right? Now, being a convicted felon, it limits you when it comes to renting. So you can go to Beverly Hills, you can go to Los Angeles, and you can try to rent, but most people will reject your application, right? And that just by you being...
That's not even... I think there are other qualifications for Beverly Hills other than just not a felon. Like, it's one of the richest addresses in the country. Weird example, but okay.
And me being in a situation where my name couldn't be on the lease, or I had to use my EIN number and stuff like that. So that means you pretty much have to hide yourself. You get what I'm saying? In the sense of when you first starting off, when you first trying to get in a position, when you first trying to get yourself together, you got to hide and all that stuff, right? Now, you wouldn't have to worry about your background when you're trying to get a home, because I'm going to tell you guys something, right? You can put yourself in a position, you can purchase a big real estate property. Let's just say if you see a building and they got 10 units, you can live in one of the units and literally rent out the whole other 9, right? Now,
the prerequisite, though, is to have a bunch of money you stole from a bank. What if I don't want to steal tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars from a bank? Playing real-life GTA, just figuring out all the crimes to make money.
That would be clever real estate tactic versus you just going ahead and just renting. You got to look at the full picture. You got to look at the full picture. Like, how can I benefit entirely? You can buy a house just to build it up, just to resell it. You can buy a house to create a spa in it. You can buy a house.
Usually you would need a business license, and it would need to be, depend on where the house is, if it's legal to run a business out of it. You can't just run a spa out of a residentially zoned building. Okay, whatever.
To create an Airbnb, anything, right? And these things, even though you making money, not only do you make money, you get equity, and on top of getting equity, you also getting greater, you also becoming a low risk borrower to any banking institution, and it allows you to get more funding. So that's my whole way how I, slip through the cracks. That was my whole purpose. My whole purpose was to do that. My whole purpose was to put that amount of debt on my back just so I can look like a low-risk borrower. Because remember, I've been studying credit criteria for over almost 2 years now. And, of course, there was a lot of trial and error on the way up. It was a lot of trial and error.
Has he only really been doing this for 2 years? Because he's claimed he stole, has he really stolen hundreds of thousands of dollars over 2 years? Does the FBI want this? He has to be, even if they don't know his name, it has to be, John Doe, number whatever, wanted for stealing X amount. You steal hundreds of thousands of dollars, someone's looking for you. There have to be people looking for him, and he's just posting on the internet.
Because realistically, you didn't know how to actually appropriate everything. People telling you mixed information. You can go on Facebook and you will see people posting $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 credit cards, and they just say, they'll tell us the people who don't know, hey, I got a 780 credit score, instantly approved, 30,000, 40,000, and you will have a 780
True,
credit score.
how they got Al Capone,
and they will deny you, and you'll be like, what happened? And when I come to realize and find
the real one that got him in the end was the neurosyphilis, though. It's ironic.
Doubt credit criteria. That's when I went on to study what factors of credit do the banks look at, and after I sum all of that up, it was easier for me to win. It was easy. It's extremely easy, because I'm like, this all you require, and I can do this, that. Okay, boom. And once you get in a position where, okay, I got a little money saved up, that's when you want to invest into your credit, right? So y'all, for those who don't have a mortgage, right? Let's just say if you don't have a mortgage on your credit report, I know a lot extremely strong to a point where you can borrow $40,000, $50,000, and that's good, especially on a.
Not if you can't pay it back. If all of a sudden I got a $50,000 line of credit, I'd be like, what do I do with this? Nothing. I'm not gonna start a fucking business. I'm just not gonna, if it's an emergency, great. Well, what am I gonna do with it? Avant Gardner says, was Al Capone live streaming or edited videos? He was on, I can't say that, we're on Twitch. He was, all the punchline websites I want to use I can't mention on Twitch, I think. Imagine a bleep here with the obvious punchline. He was actually a streamer on ha ha ha, funny, because I'm sexualizing Al Capone. He sexualized Al Capone, too. Thus the neurosyphilis. Gray Freya, thanks for 19 months. Jen Graham with £2 says, he's less Al Capone, more Al Capop.
Personal side. Because remember, you have to build up the personal before you build up the business. Without the personal, the business has no standing. Unless you have a corporation that's been open for over 10 years, and you have a 100 paydex score, and you have a whole line of history of things being borrowed with that corporation, you are not going to get any funding. And that's a sad truth that a lot of people tell you.
Man, it's almost like they're trying to vet people and organizations to make sure they can pay the money back. It's not just a free money faucet.
I want to tell you, go on Gringer, go on Uline. You think going on Gringer or going on Uline is going to get you a $150,000 credit card? These people are lying to you. These people are lying to you, family. And I knew they was lying to me as well, because they wanted credit seminars and all that. And I was like, no, I want to find out, what do the banks look at? And when I looked at these accounts, these primary accounts that you can add to your credit report, and I look at certain factors and data points that the banks look at, I'm like, if people knew this, they had a cheat code to the game. They'll know how to win. And so since many of us don't know how to win.
Literally calling it a cheat code. There's no cheat code. It's not a cheat code. It's crime. You're doing crime. This is fraud.
And since many of us is not articulate, since many of us is not paying attention to what's going on, we kind of fall backwards, right? But, back to the personal side. If the personal side is not together, the business side not going to be together. I don't care how your business credit score look. Put that personal straight first. Then remember, with the personal, you can co-sign the business. You don't have to have business credit. That's when people come to me about the EIN. They be like, "Hey, Taquan, I want to build business credit," and I say no. I teach people how to build personal credit using the EIN because you're utilizing it as if it's a social. Put you in the same mind frame as a CPN number, but you are only establishing personal credit.
Sorry, I'm looking for the third juggling ball. Where did I put it? It's gotta be around here somewhere. That's the thing about balls. I can't ever find the third one. One sec, I'm looking. There it is. Found it.
And you only taking out goods and services, you can take out goods from the social. And when they check your report, and if it's substantial, it will help you a lot. It will help you great. It will really help you enhance your entire profile. Yeah, and that's how business credit go about. And so, one of the hardest things that people got to understand, you know, when I said taking on debt, when I went to a bank one time, not a bank, what was it? When I went to a dealership and I was looking at the TRX and I told him, like, what do I need to have to, you know, in order to get one of these? He said, you ever financed a car that's worth over $50,000 to $60,000? I said, no. He said, they're not going to let you finance a $100,000 car if you never financed nothing like that. And so
hasn't he been arrested yet? I don't know. The system is big. The system is big, and if you are agile enough, you can work between the cracks for a little bit. But no one gets away with this kind of thing forever.
And like, wow, I thought just having a
or
good
at least very few
credit score. No.
Be crime, do gay.
Who told you?
Done.
Just having a good credit score, you need a strong profile. You need to put installments, revolving accounts, mix your accounts up, and make sure your accounts have history. And so yesterday, you know, I just finalized and finished up EIN Part 3. Now, EIN Part 3 is also...
Yeah, he skipped bail in Chicago, to my knowledge. He was on house arrest, and then he asked them to take him off the tether, and they did, and he ran. So, Stromboli says, my stream lagged, then the video caught up at double speed during the juggle, and it was glorious. Thanks, Hannah. I'm actually just that good. Fun fact. I just actually used the Speed Force to juggle. It's not a very good power, but it's better than nothing.
With my tutorial on credit criteria. So I'm putting both of them in the same bracket because this video strictly showing you how to enhance your profile. Now this is going to show all of the extra accounts that you can put on your profile, whether it be a secure loan, right, which is good. A secure loan will be considered an installment. I run to one property area to get a property.
Let's move on to something else. Oh, you want to see his house? He did a little video this is a tour of his fucking McMansion.
Today is closing day for my clients and I am super stoked for them. There were many obstacles that were thrown at us throughout this whole process, but nothing we couldn't overcome. Huge congratulations to them for relocating all the way from Illinois to Texas, and now let's celebrate.
Recently, me and my family relocated from Illinois over here to Fulshear, Texas. Now, me and my...
You know, because I was, in part, running from a crime I committed.
My family knew that we wanted to get a new construction home.
He had a charge for, like, possession of a firearm, even though he's a felon.
So I went on Instagram and I seen my boy Laura. He was posting new properties and everything like that. And I knew that he was very knowledgeable when it comes to buying a home. Once we found the home, Cross Country Mortgage was able to help close our loan. Laura helped us with the closing costs, seller incentives. He was a good representative for our file. My realtor been a big help throughout this whole journey because he never gave up on us. He always stayed consistent. He never missed really any of our phone calls. Overall, it was a great experience and my family appreciated it.
Jesus fucking Christ. Sorry, I said Dallas. It's actually Houston. My bad. Yeah, they were Harry Potter plushies. How would you publicize your fraud? I don't know. I don't know. No, that's not Terrence. Completely different guy. Yeah. I don't like how the house looked either, but that's like a personal style thing. Anyway.
Look at a bank. I think people need to start studying words. Look at a bank. What is also a bank? A river bank. What does the river bank do? It controls the flow. The flow of what? The flow of the current. The currency. If it's controlling the currency, it's also controlling the flow of what? The cash flow. Money moves like water. So
I
if
am begging
understand
people to stop doing this.
where the water's going to go, I just have to position myself where the cash flow is going to be next, and I will get wet. Welcome to the big leagues, motherfucker.
Fucking
Love to have our big...
No. Oh, I hate sales shit.
You guys ready? Everybody repeat after me. I'm the lead sales warrior. I'm the lead sales warrior. I will destroy my competition. I will destroy my competition. Success trains, failure complaints. Success trains, failure complaints. I have no limits. I have no limits. I have no ego. I have no ego. I have no entitlement. I have no entitlement. I dress, walk, and talk like a warrior. I dress, walk, and talk like a warrior. I sell to my potential, not my quota. I sell to my potential, not my quota.
Isn't an MLM? Might be. It's either that or just a sales conference. I don't know. If it is an MLM, it's the most dude bro MLM. Which do exist. I kind of feel like he's probably some sort of like TikTok sales guru that charges for like bullshit conferences like this training. It's pee-pee if he got off the vape. Oh.
Reminder that if you had $500 in your trading account and you compounded that by 2% every single day, at the end of the year, you...
How am I gonna get 2% gains every day? Draw the rest of the fucking owl. Like, what? Like, you can't just say, if you just have 2% compounding interest every day, 2% a day? That's so fucking much! If anyone could just do that, fucking the system would be broken. Because then no one would work, because everyone would be doing that. Like, that doesn't make any goddamn sense. No one is doing that consistently who is not doing crime. Ugh.
you would be left with $86,000. Now, if you started trading with $86,000 for another year and compounded that again by 2% on a daily basis, you'd be left with $14 million. That's a lot of money, guys.
Wasn't Bernie Madoff's pyramid, or rather Ponzi scheme, predicated upon him claiming people would be getting 8% per year, and that was unrealistic? Meek says, also, there's only about 250 trading days a year. Sure. I owe 3 banks $130,000 this month. Oh my god. Because I borrowed millions to buy real estate. Want to know why I very intentionally did that? I'm gonna mute it, because, you know, copyrighted music. Because I wanted to own rentals, but I did not have enough money, so I figured I could borrow it and buy rentals with other people's money and use the rental incomes to pay back the 3 banks. Oh my god. And it worked. I collect over $300,000 in rent every single month. Garbage. Garbage! Ugh. Sorry, I missed a thing. H-Beard says, what's weird is that if you have no morals, you don't actually have to commit crimes to get rich. You just tell bigots they not only aren't bigots, but the true good people for money. For money, of course. True. Failure to right-wing grifter pipeline. Consistent.
This hour is Corey in Cleveland, Ohio. Hi, Corey. How are you?
Dropping a turd. How about you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
So I have a question.
He claimed he bought 3 rentals.
Are you currently? I am dropping what might in fact be the biggest shit I have taken to date at work, and I got some issues here. Number one is that the toilet is clogged, and number 2, there is no toilet paper to wipe my ass with. This shit's dripping out my ass like a crack.
Oh my god.
Personally,
Manspreading, martinis, and maximizing shareholder value. Look at this Patrick Bateman looking fuck. Look at this.
I feel like our generation glamorizes corporate careers when the reality is far from it. So this is an honest day in the life working in London. I woke up late and skipped my morning gym session.
Oh my god. How many people has this guy murdered?
Again, because I'm more shattered than the rims on the girl's Fiat 500. Headphones in, Drake on full blast, man spreading on the tube. Today is about winning. Let's get it. Grabbed a coffee, which was on the house, and they say only girls benefit from pretty privilege. I then arrived 10 minutes late to a meeting at the office, but my boss apologized.
Oh shit, Nintendo Fan 13 with a $20 tip says, hi Hannah, longtime lurker, but loved your content commentary for a while now. You've got a great way of articulating your points in a clear but hilarious way. Just started an overnight job and your VODs have been perfect for getting through it. Thanks. Oh, well, I'm glad. Thank you very much. That's very generous of you. I appreciate it. By the way, for YouTube, my videos appear under the live tab now because I stream both on YouTube and Twitch. Seems to be going okay today. Knock on wood. So if you're like, where are the VODs? They're under the live tab, because they're VODs of previous streams I did on YouTube, as well as here.
Apologizes for being way too early. Half of my team has been laid off recently, not because my company is financially struggling, but because I do the job of 8 people. I had a lunch date with someone who I'm absolutely in love with. Myself. HR requested a meeting with me tomorrow. It's probably a promotion after being able to do 5 tequila shots in a row at the Christmas party. I remember everyone was speechless. After leaving the office, I had a dinner with Moss, so I headed over to Marylebone. I had to get changed in the restaurant toilet, so I just threw on...
Can't I re-upload the live videos as videos? But why, though? They're already there, you just have to click to a tab that's right next to the videos tab. But why, though, would I re-upload them when they're already there in their totality?
On this double-breasted corduroy suit, I was able to...
We did get an Ethernet cable, but it's not... Don't worry about it. I was stupid, so that's a no-go.
Have an exclusive look at their Spring-Summer 2024 range, which consisted of 3 of my favourite items, suits, loafers, and linen. I was also able to have a chat with the CEO, where we bonded over our passion for quarter zips and gilets. I then absolutely annihilated this steak. Boy math is drinking caffeine with alcohol, aka an espresso martini, to balance your uppers and downers. I call that being perfectly hedged. After that, a few of us went out and spent some money on a strip. Personally, I feel like
Jesus Christ, people are douchebags.
I think I got fired today after I gave my 2 weeks notice. So I gave my 2 weeks on Wednesday, and then today my project manager had a meeting with me to ask me like why I was quitting, and then at the end
H-Beard, we're
he was like, oh, and since you've only been here for 6 or 7 weeks, I don't think you need to work here after today. And I was like, I haven't finished all of my work yet. And he was like, I don't care, Angela can do it.
Bathroom pass to go to Merrick? It's I need a hall pass to go to the hall? I need a locker pass to go to my locker? I need a bathroom pass to go to the bathroom? Is this America? No, it's jail. Follow me for more tips like this and escape school. I need a
That kid's funny. Gitara says, whoa, wait, doing the job of 8 people? Son, you're not living your Finn bro fantasy, you're being exploited. None of it's true.
But we're gonna crush it.
It's the alternatives era. We buy assets, then we make them better. It's the alternatives era. Oh, build with Blackstone. Steve and Pete, they founded this place. Our founders.
Oh no.
Never show the IRS that I'm making any money.
Okay.
When you get your first job and you're making 200 grand, your goal.
Fucking what? What universe do you live in where you think people are regularly getting jobs that start out at $200,000? What? Ah! My first job paid $7 an hour.
Is to get that 200 grand to 11,000 bucks.
How do you do that?
Your taxes on this is going to be 1,100.
Right.
I want to spend $189,000 on goods and services that could help me make more money next year because I'm never paying the IRS. Let's say I made 200 grand and I could keep 189,000. I'm going to take that and go buy a $400,000 piece of real estate that'll give me $189,000 depreciation, and now I only pay taxes.
And this is why you need to ban this kind of shit.
Taxes on 11,000.
So how do we get the money for the down payment?
You got a job with me, 200 grand a year. You're not going to spend any money on your lifestyle. You're going to park all that money into a real estate deal, and you're going to use it as a down payment to buy an income-producing property.
Jesus Christ. Fenigami says, is the failure to right-wing grifter pipeline better or worse than the soon-to-be accused, R-wordist to right-wing grifter pipeline? Remember, the former have Candace Owens, the latter has Elon Musk and Russell Brand. I can't decide. They're both bad. Cruelty 1, thanks for 24 months. That actually isn't tax fraud what he was describing. Like, what he is describing is legal, it is scummy, though. Oh my god, Terrence Howard. I love him and his beautiful math. His genius math that we're all too smooth-brained to understand.
It out? What's 1 times 1?
1?
1 times 1 is 1.
To multiply means to do what?
To take something and have it a certain number of times.
To make more, right?
Yes.
Increase a number?
Yes.
Not necessarily. It's how many times you are duplicating the thing. In this case, 1. If it's 1 quantity 1 times, then it's 1, Terrence! The ones mean different things. One of the ones is at least in theory, an object, and the other is like the numerical number of times. They're both ones, but they're representative of different things.
Multiply?
Yes.
How can 1 times
like one's a quantity and one's a frequency? Does that make sense?
1 equaling 1 be part of the multiplication table? It fails to satisfy the term multiply.
You don't know what the word means.
Multiply. Does it? What's an action times an action?
You got some weed.
No, I'm asking you. Honestly,
How does no one answer? Like, are people idiots? No one ever answers him and explains to him directly why he's wrong. Like, they just go, what? Like, are people fucking dumb?
Reason. I want you to reason.
I don't know.
What's an action times an action? A reaction. Right?
Okay.
Have you ever seen an action times an action without a reaction? Have you? No. Because equanimity is the currency of the universe. There's always an action times an action having a reaction. So how can 1 times 1 equal 1? How can A times B just be A and not B? What happened to conservation?
Terrence, these are late night conversations.
These are
they are.
They're not going to come. Bankruptcy's not really scary. They're not going.
You're not going to be able to get credit for like a decade. That's pretty scary if you don't already have a bunch of fucking money.
Going to come kill you. You're going to be bankrupt. Pretty much it's like following the Dave Ramsey method, except it's real quick. The Dave Ramsey method will just keep you bankrupt for most of your life. These people the other day, man, they had like $150,000 in loans, and they took like 5 years and worked all this overtime to pay that off. They could have just went bankrupt, then worked really hard to build their wealth. But instead, they worked for 5 years really hard to pay debt down to zero, which means when they paid that debt down to zero, they were still broke.
Right, but they paid back what they were loaned.
They could have just went back.
The system cannot work. It's like none of these people think for a second, like, you cannot have a system where everyone takes a bunch of shit and then just doesn't give anything back. Like, they see a system where rich people get, a bunch of money and then don't have to do anything, and they don't say, this is a problem. They say, everyone should get to do this. That's not how things work. Unless we live in some sort of hypothetical utopian, like, sci-fi fake civilization where all labor can be done via, like, robots, which isn't even something that would be great, I think, morally for human beings to just have everything done for us. Oh my god. Why do you want to do this and do as little as possible? Be a person. Do anything productive. A hobby. Something creative. Read a book. Ugh. The obsession with the accumulation of wealth is frustrating. Benikagami says, sometimes the reaction is nothing, Terrence. Flying through space doesn't cause anything to happen until it interacts with something.
I haven't gotten sick in 3 years because I don't believe in being sick. You want to know how people get sick? They wake up in the morning and they get this thing. What is the first thing with that symptom that they say? I think I'm getting sick. That's an instruction. And guess what you're going to do? You're going to lean into that, and then the symptom is going to exaggerate into sickness.
You literally think that that's how it works? Oh my god. Do we need to have a class specifically that teaches children magic isn't real? Like, it sounds like a bummer, but a lot of adults are going around thinking magic is real, and that's frustrating. H-Beard says, I think a lot of these people forget that they aren't smart, so they really think that everyone else is dumb and they figured out some cool hack.
And then later you're going to say, I am sick. And so I'll ask one person, how long do you usually get sick? 2 days. Why is it 2 days? Because that's their programming. Guess what they start to think? I'm done being sick. That's an instruction. The body says,
oh my god, people are so dumb.
Read it lowers your testosterone.
Really?
Podcast police!
Put the mics down! Put the mics down! Don't...
People don't know this, but sleep is bad for you.
Did you read that somewhere?
I don't read it. Lowers your testosterone.
Really?
Quiet One with 36 months says, happy 3rd anniversary. Oh, happy anniversary. 3 years. Jeez, this is a sub baby too. This sub baby's name is... Jordan Belfort.
Really?
Podcast police!
Put the mics down! Put the mics down! Don't even think about it!
This episode is over, fellas.
We're the podcast police. We're a task force that stops white guys from starting podcasts for no reason.
Anything you say can and will be used against you.
Subscribe to the Patreon.
All right, enough.
It's become a real problem here in Los Angeles. These guys reuse mics, share mics, podcast in the morning, podcast at night. Hell, half the time they don't realize the mic's not even plugged in. Poor guy doesn't even have a co-host.
Mics down! Mics down! God damn it, they fled!
Just missed him. Mike's still hot.
This is legit just funny.
Every year we lose about half our recruits.
Do they die?
No. We're losing the podcast. Class of 2015 lost a lot of good men.
Just busted a 17-year-old for podcasting. Already on the mic. What life advice could you possibly be sharing?
Hey! Get back here!
Parents call. I had no idea my son was podcasting. You had no idea? Your son's 11, and he's asking for a goddamn cold plunge!
All right, man, what do you need? I got mics, I got whatever podcasting equipment you need.
You know what? I need for you to get on the ground!
Go! Get down! Get down!
Suspect apprehended! Suspect apprehended! This is personal to me because I lost my brother to broadcasting. He was top of his class. Then one day he says to me, "We have such funny conversations. Why don't we start recording them?" From that point on, he was hooked.
You gotta follow the money. All this is funded by big sponsors. You got Roman, BetterHelp, Athletic Greens. Those guys go under, this whole nightmare ends. Good fucking luck.
They say the best time to invest is yesterday, so when it comes to compound interest...
Everything okay there, buddy? We got a runner! We got a runner! Drop the mic and don't say another word!
Well, biologically speaking, men are stronger than... For 25% off MeUndies. Use code...
Get the goddamn code. Fuck!
That was so funny. I have to use the bathroom. I'll be right back. Behave. Be cool. I will be back in just a sec. Oh god, did Chair start a podcast? That's a shame. Was it about building birdhouses? The Chair is always talking about birdhouses. That shit, who cares about birdhouses? They should talk about Blu-rays like a normal person. Lariah Desai said, with 10 months, thank you.
What's your biggest monthly income?
Last month I made $100,000. And for all you guys that are hating in the comments on TikTok, why don't you look around right now? It's Friday night. Friday night at 7 o'clock at night. See, people are on this bullshit hating in TikTok comments when watch what they're doing Friday night. Why don't you turn the camera around, see what you're doing Friday night at 7 o'clock?
On Friday night at 7, I'm probably streaming, but if I wasn't doing that, I'd probably be watching a movie with my wife and cats, or playing a game or something and enjoying myself, because you only live a certain number of years on this planet, and I don't want to waste it just trying to accumulate wealth when the things I care about are already around me. Hot take.
Because I guarantee you're not working. We're locked in.
No, I want to live my life.
Making money, you can keep watching, you can keep hating, and we're going to keep winning.
All right, what do you sell?
Yes, sir. I sell life insurance.
And what's your biggest monthly income?
My biggest monthly income was around $40,000. All
right, what do you sell?
Life insurance.
What's your biggest monthly income?
Everything included, $50,000.
What do you sell?
Life insurance.
And what's your biggest monthly income?
October, $27,000 net.
And what kind of car do you drive?
I drive an AMG GT.
True.
What do you do for a living?
Sell life insurance.
And what's your biggest monthly income?
$20,000.
What kind of car do you drive?
Audi R8.
The obsession with cars. I don't get the car thing. I'm not a car person. Just need it to take me places. That's it.
World right now. What's your net worth? I can explain this in a way that might sound crazy. I'm a billionaire. Let's think about it. Does a billionaire have a liquid $1 billion in his bank account? No. Okay, so is he actually a billionaire? No. Like liquid billionaire? No, I'm not a liquid billionaire yet. Probably will be mathematically soon. But
what does that even mean?
I'm a billionaire because, number one, let's just say I can make 500 to $1 million a month. That's like 12 mil a year. You do like a money calculator since it's like a hedge fund style thing. We're already in the hundreds of millions. And then other businesses.
I don't think you know how much $1 billion is.
I'm a Web3 wealth manager now. Like I own a hedge fund and manage money for people. If I went today and was like, I have this huge opportunity, everyone give me $500,000 I can afford. Probably could raise about $50 to $100 million right there. So
that's still not $1 billion. That's not a billion at all. What do you think words mean? What do you feel like a billionaire? What the fuck?
As far as the money calculator thing, my net worth is above $1 billion. Hopefully $1 trillion. The youngest.
$1 trillion soon. No one on the planet has $1 trillion net worth that we know of.
So nobody's gonna believe me, but this is how your $1 million home is gonna be worth $45 million. Here's a scenario that I just came across. Original homeowner purchased a home in 1970 for $38,000. Sounds like nothing today, right? You pay cars for more than that, right? But in $38,000, that's what the home was worth. Right now, that same home would sell for $1.7 million. A lot of homes sell for the millions right now. But if you were to tell that guy in 1970 that that same home was gonna sell 50 years later for $1.7 million, he'd have thought you were crazy, right? So you take the $1.7 million, divide that by the $38,000 that he paid, and you get almost 45 times the price.
Man, it's almost like we should, like, build a lot more housing, probably in a way that's, like, efficient or something. Weird.
So you take 38,000, 45 times, and now it's worth 1.7. So if you take that math and forward it into the future, that same home's going to be worth $76 million in 50 years. Now, you tell someone today that their
I
home
hope not.
$1.7 million.
If in 50 years we still have the same housing problems, we really truly are fucked, huh?
Home's gonna be worth $75 million. They're gonna laugh at you, but it's the same math. The lesson is hold on to real estate for a long time.
Financial sense for you to own a supercar that is $100,000 and up.
No.
Than it does.
He's gonna say rent it out. It's all rent-seeking behavior.
To drive a Hyundai for 25 grand. Sorry, Hyundai. But financially, it makes more sense to buy the supercar because they don't have a bottom. They don't go to zero. You don't start over. You understand true value. It becomes a wealth transfer. If I can buy, a personal example, the R8 that I had, so I bought that for $80,000 and I sold it for $110,000 after driving it for 2 years.
Wow.
So I got to drive an R8.
You got to drive an R8 and have it in your driveway.
And I got paid $30,000 to do it.
The 9 to 5 is a trap. You work a job you don't.
Is this kid 13?
The 9 to 5 is a trap. You work a job you don't like. You save up all your money for paradise when you get older. But when you finally get older, you're too old to even enjoy it. So yeah, it's a trap. Follow me to escape the Matrix.
You're not even old enough to be plugged into the Matrix. What the fuck are you talking about? Oh my god, the brain rot. The brain rot is so deep. Oh, this is unfortunate. Spongy Lord, thanks for 31 months, says, hey Hannah, hey chat. Hello, how you doing? Stromboli says, my father's house was built by his father and his grandfather in 1960. It was appraised for $60,000 in 2008, and one day I will inherit it when my dad dies, and it's worth... There is no monetary amount. I'm lucky enough to have a family home. Why do these people only think of a home as a monetary asset? I know I'm privileged, but damn, right? I want in my life to be able to do something that I'm interested in. This, which I have hard days, but like, you know, for the most part, I like what I do. I like hanging out with you guys and talking and to talk to people every day. I enjoy it. My primary goal is to be with the people I care about, to cultivate relationships with people around me that are healthy, which I did not, like, used to do before my transition especially, and just making sure that I'm, like, a happy, healthy person who's kind to people around me as much as I can. Everything else is extra. Oh my god.
The 9 to
1,000 companies. I own 400 right now. I want to own 10,000 companies. I own 400 right now. And I have a private equity firm that's now racking up every week new companies.
Is it real estate stuff or what's the?
Private equity, everything.
Okay.
I want to own companies in every single industry.
No one... Like, if you're claiming you own 400 companies, what are you even doing to any of them? Clearly you have nothing to do with anything, or these are all, like, holding companies for doing bullshit. Like, what in the world?
Before I start, I gotta say this. This is super unethical, so I don't recommend anybody do this. But this has gotta be one of the easiest ways to make $20,000 in 1 week, and it's completely legal. Again, I'm not telling anybody to do this. I'm just sharing something that I stumbled across the other day and I was blown away. So I was scrolling on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, the other day, and I stumbled across this post that was going viral, and it was pretty outlandish. Here, I'll put it up. All right, so here's the post. Let's take a look, shall we? Stella says, "Hello, Twitter peeps. My friend Elizabeth is looking for an unvaxxed sperm donor. Her requirements are blue-eyed, white, 5'11" or taller, STD-free, no Jewish or African ancestry, follows a healthy, meat-focused diet, must be natural insemination. She will not do IVF," meaning, you know. DM me. And at the time that I'm showing you guys this, it has 1.4 million impressions.
Bait. Gotta be bait. Benakayami said, "The car thing is stupid manhood socialization thing. Men are effed right now, being torn in two different directions. The clear-cut traditional manhood bit, which only provides a tendency to violence, insecurity, and being told to grind themselves into dust while neglecting their emotions. The other direction has none of that and tries to embrace their feelings, but offers little guidance and has a lot of uncertainty due to lack of direction." Jitara says, "Oof, seeing the 13-year-old was like looking into a mirror. When I was a teenager, I fell into the Finbro rabbit hole because I wanted to have a chunk of cash for college and trying to live comfortably in this capitalist hellscape. Got out of it, but I was in so deep that I used to own crypto. Ended up selling it all years ago to get through college when I realized all of this crap only works if you were already privileged or were in the right place at the right time. Glad you were able to get away from that stuff." Like, I understand why people fall into stuff like this. Like, unless you're already wealthy, then you're just kind of a fucking asshole. But, like, if you're someone who grew up in a working class, like, or poor, like, household, whatever, you know, you're not a Nepo baby, basically. The world is hard, and, like, no one sees a clear path to a successful future. That's not to say no one will have a successful future. Some people will succeed, and a lot of people won't. Just like a lot of, you know, how it's been in society. And fewer people are getting the benefits of all of the amazing things that we were able to do with technology and stuff. But, like, people are desperate and don't see clear avenues to upward mobility, so they get desperate and cling on to these kind of narratives. They cling on to scams and get-rich-quick schemes because at least it's something. It's anything. Like, people desperately want plans. People want an understanding of the world. People, like, don't even need it to be a great world. They just need rules. And we live in a society where I think what people are told, the American dream and stuff, and the reality of the situation are so different, it fucks people up and they get desperate and they don't know what to believe because their whole childhood, their whole adolescence, especially if they were more, like, sheltered, like if they're, like, a white kid who, like, maybe their parents aren't rich, but, like, you know, maybe their difficulties as a kid weren't, like, as severe as someone who was impoverished, you know? All of a sudden they become adults and things are hard and they're like, what the fuck? Maybe their parents don't even get it because their parents maybe were raised in an era where it was easier, you know? The typical, like, boomer thing where they're like, just go out and find a job with a firm handshake type shit. Like, that's gotta be confusing and alienating, so people look for mythologies. People look for narratives and stories to explain what's going on because people use narratives to tell them their role. Like, the famous line about life's a stage and we're all players, you know? There's a psychological truth to that. Our worldviews are scripts. We have social scripts, and the way that we understand ourselves involves understanding others, involves understanding the setting. And if you don't understand the rules, the setting you're in, what other people are doing, what they expect your role to be, you're just confused and anxious and paranoid and upset. And I see that a lot. So I don't know. People need something that they can believe in, and I don't mean that in a religious sense. I just mean they need to believe that they can do something, that there's some solace, some end goal where they can at least take a second and breathe and just be a human being. And we don't get treated like that in society, I don't think, most of the time. Anyway.
Okay, so you might
hydrate. Thanks, Baha. So anyway, Nazi sperm post.
I see that post and be like, yeah, I get it. It's a little bit weird, but how is that an unethical way to make money? And this is where it gets even deeper. Our friend Stella was kind enough to drop an update for us. Hello again, Twitter peeps. Okay, her details are German, Swedish ancestry, 2 body counts, celibate the past 2 years, 23 years old, unvaxxed, meat-focused diet, supplements, will have supportive grandmother and younger brother.
100% this is like a post that's just to like steal people's information or something.
You're one spin away from never stop gambling.
Oh my god. Yikes.
Never stop gambling, alright? You're one spin away from generational wealth. Your daughter's college tuition is one spin away. Put your life savings on black. Remember that. Just go to Vegas, and if you lose, just keep getting loans. Remember this. Just keep spinning, keep gambling, keep gambling. You can't lose. You literally can't lose. You can only quit. Never stop.
Oh boy, I do not need people doing ASMR of that.
Credit cards out there, guys. Like Bank of America, for example, I know does this, where you can go ahead, get the credit card, and transfer the credit card limit over to your checkings account in hard cash. Yes, they charge you a transaction fee, but it's not that.
Are you talking about fucking cash advances from a credit card? The fees on cash advances are fucking crazy. Do not get cash advances off a credit card. Oh my god. What? This is like the one piece of advice anyone will give you is do not get the cash advances. Oh my god.
That much. It's like 4% or something like that. 4%. So you can go ahead and get like 50K cash. You get 48K of it because after the transaction fee.
Bold of you to assume that I have any sort of line of credit in the tens of thousands of dollars.
Whatever. You get like 18 months interest free where you can use that money. Let's say you take that 50K, use this capital, invest it into real estate property. You could go ahead. Now you control that asset with none of your own.
What real estate property am I buying for $50,000?
Money while simultaneously getting a bank loan. You go ahead, you take that capital from the credit card, get the loan from the bank, then you get the money, put a down payment on a house. Hell, 50K, you could buy a house.
They act like there is no risk involved in any sort of, oh my god, this is terrible. This is so fucking terrible. That's definitely a fake video.
Well, let's say I had to have $60,000. You go to a bank and you say, I need $61,000. They then say, okay, here's your credit. This is what we'll give you or won't give you. Or do you have an asset that we could leverage against? Well, what do you think that I used as my asset? I used my paintings.
Yeah.
I said, well, I have these paintings. What people don't know is anytime I did a painting, I would have it appraised. And once it was appraised, I could then get insurance on it. So when the bank seen it, they were like, okay, we'll give you $60,000.
Oh,
so
because
now,
you had all the...
On your own paintings? Who are you getting to... What the fuck?
$60,000. You go to a bank and you say, I need...
This is just fraud again.
Appraised, I could then get insurance on it. So when the bank seen it, they were like, okay, we'll give you $60,000.
Oh,
so
because
now,
you had all these paintings.
That's
like
right.
5,000, 5,000, 5,000,
right.
10,000, 5,000. Just
That's
ones
right.
that didn't sell.
So here's my collection of paintings. Here's my asset. I can borrow against them. I now get the $60,000. I buy the tattoo.
I don't know if you know this, but people can't generally get their paintings appraised for thousands of dollars.
That's crazy.
That's not a thing normal people can do. I'm assuming this guy's an artist.
So you didn't purchase them, you painted them.
That's right.
Yeah,
and here's the
that's funny.
thing. Oh, no, please don't take my paintings because I couldn't do it again.
Yeah, you could just paint more.
I could repaint them again. If you
Yeah,
think
that's
about
funny.
it, if you think about it, it's kind of a hack way.
Infinite money glitch.
Of selling your paintings.
Attempt and our first commercial orbital launch.
Going up because it looks like the rocket
is going to be launched today. But the real question is, when? Moon.
Red lead. Red lead is go. FTS.
FTS is go.
Delphin.
Delphin is go.
Ether.
Ether is go.
Odin. Inco.
Inco is go.
Ace.
Odin's not go. Oh, the intensity is building. Hey, I am from India. 30,000 people watching. I have my money on gravity. This would be a good time to sell.
10.
Yeah, sell it now! Fenekagami says, I absolutely agree with you that humans need rules to function. It's one of the biggest reasons why I don't think gender abolition is going to ever happen. People need something concrete to anchor themselves to, even just as something to rebel against. If gender didn't exist, something else would replace it as some sort of foundation to build the identity around. Unfortunately, this means likely some form of oppression will always exist. However, a society built on empathy will mitigate it. Yeah, it's not even, when I say rules, I don't mean like things you're not allowed to do as much as I mean like, in the same way that motion is relative and you need something somewhere to measure against, like having understandable marked points in society, like here's this thing and this thing and that thing, and here's how these things vaguely function together, helps you better navigate the world. It's not so much I'm advocating for some sort of strict rules or something, as much as just like an agreed upon, hey, here's how things should more or less function, people being, you know, kind to each other or whatever. And I know that's like bullshit, vague, hug a tree bullshit. I just mean, at the very least, an understanding of like, you do this, you get this. You get this amount, do this amount of work, you get a fair pay. You do this, you succeed. Clear rules for success and failure in life, whatever that means, would be helpful. Other than just fuck other people over and get money until you die.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 2, 1. Mission 0. Abort.
Back at idle. Abort hit.
Looks like an abort was called at T0. The team will look into the issue and we will hopefully make another attempt.
Look at the stop.
Again, abort called right near T0. Teams are currently working through their abort procedures and we're standing by for word of the next attempt.
Of the next attempt.
Putting your money in Bank of America, putting your money in Chase Bank, putting your money in all these banks, that's risky. Every fucking bank in the United States of America is insolvent right now.
A, no they're not. B, even if they were, my money is insured by the FDIC, and if the FDIC is not going to cover my bank account, hoo boy, we got bigger problems.
Cannot produce deposits on demand if they were asked to do it by 100% of their customers today. Couldn't do it. The only reason why...
Do you know what a reserve banking is? Oh my god. It's not a secret.
It's because everybody's not going to the bank at the same time to get their deposits out. It's not 1933 where you got a line of people outside the bank and you can like stave that off.
Do you understand that in 1933 they didn't have that money either, thus why bank runs are a problem and why the FDIC was put into place? No? Okay. Yeah, the audio mixing's bad.
Apps are just making withdrawal. And at some point, you're going to reach a threshold where you can't meet that withdrawal. Because if you don't understand how banks work, they take your deposits and they invest them. And when you take interest rates from 0 to almost 6% in 12 months, all your deposits they took a year, 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago are getting 1 or 2% when the market's paying 5 or 6. So they have to sell off at a loss. So they're losing money on what you put in there to try to pay people back. So at some point, they can't meet all the deposits. Putting your money in
When you walk into a restaurant, you're probably thinking, what am I going to get to eat? What you should be thinking is, how am I going to buy this restaurant in 5 years? Change your mindset to change your life. Follow me for more tips like this.
The kid giving grind set advice is honestly hilarious. I assume it's a joke. Funny kid, if so.
Real jobs start when the signs are all down. If you're a real realtor, this is your job. Number 1. Every good realtor has to have a hammer. Even though you're not a sign installer, but sometimes you need to fix the sign. You need to have this hammer. I can say 85% of the realtors, they think that they are so cool, they don't want to do anything. They want to wear this jacket and they want to drive a Mercedes, but they don't have a hammer to fix this sign. So the first job is that, grab the sign. That's called real hard work.
I'm sorry, is this video literally all about just like, hey, if the sign falls over, fix it? Yep.
Look at this. Put this sandwich sign properly. Hey, if you're a real realtor, keep the hammer in your back trunk, even though you're not installing a sign. Love you guys all.
I feel like that's just basic advice. I'm so confused.
Really cool. Hey, hello. This is a really cool G-Wagon. Do you mind telling us what model is it?
G633.
What do you do for a living?
I'm international student at USW.
Can you tell us what financial advice will you give it to other people to make them as rich as you?
Have rich parents. Vanity Panic, thanks for 10 months.
Buy my house.
Buy more houses.
It's a good idea.
It's a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much.
I never thought of that. I'll just go buy a bunch of houses with all the money that I have. Genius.
I'm going to live to be 144 years old. These are the supplements that I take to get me there. This is what I take just in the morning. It consists, first of all, of resveratrol and amen. Both of these really extend life. I've got my athletic greens. Every one of these vitamins comes from plants. This is where I'm taking my TRT, my testosterone. I've got a lot of stuff here for my digestive system. This is ion intelligent gut support. Take basically digestive enzymes, probiotics, fiber. That's because I'm eating sometimes 6,000 calories a day because I'm in a huge weight gain.
Honestly, as much as like I respect that he said he's taking testosterone, I don't personally give a shit like if people use steroids or testosterone or whatever to like increase their bulk. I don't care. I don't care what people do with their bodies. So often I see like that kind of guy though or whatever, and they'll just be like, oh no, I'm not taking anything, it's all natural supplements, man, like, you know, whatever. He's saying it, that's fine, I don't care. If you want to take like steroids or testosterone or whatever, you fucking do you. Hydrate. I just hate when you see like that Liver King guy who got caught using steroids, and it's like obviously he was using steroids, but he was lying about it to his audience. Gamer G says, pro tip, never put a real estate sign outside a for sale property. It makes it an easy mark for thieves. This is one of the many reasons why you use credible realtors and not finance pros.
Zone. There's some mushrooms that I take, ashwagandha, lion's mane. I take my omega oils, and then I take a little bit of DIM to make sure I keep my estrogen suppressed. That's what I'm taking every single day. Now, on top of that, I am eating mostly whole foods. So
he's suppressing his estrogen?
Instead of processed foods or sugars, that's mostly eliminated from the diet.
Well, all right then. You do you. I don't care. At least he's telling people what he's on. He's certainly not going to live as long as he wants.
200 houses today, right?
Yeah.
Do I care if the price is...
Freyline says, word of advice, taking a bunch of supplements have been linked to heart issues even in young, seemingly healthy people. Yeah, they're not tested by the FDA.
Dropped 20%? No, I don't, because I'm not planning on selling those. As long as I have tenants in place, as long as I'm getting cash flow, as long as I'm getting depreciation, I know over time they will always be worth more.
Yeah.
And that's the beautiful thing. And then once you have more, once you have a portfolio of 50 million, right, or 100 million, the market goes up 20% a year. How much equity did you make? 20 million bucks.
100%.
Right? And then what can you do with that equity? Well, you can borrow up to 70%. So you can borrow 14 million against the new 20.
Yeah.
Well, what do you do with that 14?
H-Beard says, doesn't he realize he needs some magnetic rings? No, magnetic rings may not work in water. Multiple callbacks. Nice.
The most.
Ugh. Bait TikToks.
I have a bone to pick with America! So I'm headed to my serving job.
Overthought, thanks for gifting a sub.
Hate it. I fucking hate it. Tell me why I make more money serving. I have my literal business marketing degree that put me in a cute $80,000 in debt. And I make more serving sushi rolls because I've been applying to marketing jobs fucking for weeks now. And the pay cut is insane. Insane. But the jobs that are like a cute $150,000 to $200,000 a year, I'm not getting those. I'm a almost 25-year-old, my birthday's soon, almost 25-year-old chick going against, corporate ass America, people with so much experience. All I got is my degree. People say, get your degree, but then they don't talk about how you need experience. The degree was the experience!
Yeah, the job market's rough.
Seconds. Let's see. It's got a nice little here.
I'm losing money. Robert Prockgum, thanks for 6 months of membership on YouTube. Oh my god, the sound mixing is terrible on some of these.
So many vehicles, right? A lot of people ask, why do I have so many vehicles, right? A Porsche, a couple Lambos, a couple Benzes, a couple Range Rovers. Why exactly do we do that? Simply because every month my accountant tells me, Ahmed, you need to spend X amount of money in order to pay 0 taxes at the end of the year. And every single time I buy a 6-figure watch or...
This is so fucking stupid. How about you just keep that money and pay the taxes and then use that money to, invest in something? Why are you buying depreciating fucking vehicles with that money instead of just paying your goddamn taxes? The aversion, it's like a moral aversion for some people. It's not even that it would make more sense for them, to do this. They just morally think taxes are evil. It's so fucked up. Right? Why not donate it? What the fuck is wrong with people? Oh god, this is sick. Gnome Pickles of 23 months is finally awake early enough to catch a live stream. Huzzah. Glad you're here. I have to use the bathroom again, so I'm gonna do that. I'll be back in just a sec. Overthought says, they just imagine that taxes are collected and IRS agents roll around on a bed of cash instead of, it going to help things running.
Or a car, I can write it off as marketing expenses as a digital marketer. So that is one huge...
How is that a marketing expense? You're literally on camera explaining what you're doing. Can't the IRS be like, you just admitted on camera? Jesus Christ. Fenigami says, it's so weird how much people try to avoid taxes. They inevitably spend more avoiding the taxes than they would pay. Companies do this too. Taxes aren't evil. H-Bird says, remember, if you pay your taxes, Ragnar Daneskold and his movie star wife will give you back your income taxes in gold bars while you live in a cloaked commune in the Colorado mountains with other wealthy CEOs who also have formed a commando team, and Who Boy Atlas Shrugged was a weird book.
Huge benefit to why I do it, and cars are fucking dope. So be a digital marketer so you can buy stupid shit all the time. A lot of of people ask why.
What do you do for work?
Nothing.
Why not?
Dad this money. My father just gave me money every month and I live here in Miami.
Are you?
Oh yeah, that's fucked up, but at least he's honest about it. That's an honest answer. DM Trey says, these people are the greatest symptom of a personal level of how capitalism has gotten completely out of hand. They're broke up into two groups, people who break the law because they're desperate to survive, the other people so privileged and out of touch that they don't even know the basic reality of people living experiences to understand how useless their advice is. That's a good point, yeah.
You serious?
Yeah.
Where are you guys from?
Italy.
So what do you do with your life?
Just hang out with girls, go in the clubs.
This guy has an amazing life. So let me ask you this, how long is this lifestyle gonna last?
Until I get bored.
Are you not bored yet?
Absolutely not.
So your dad is okay with paying your bills and taking care of you for how long?
Until I get bored.
And then when you get bored, what are you gonna do?
Let's see. I don't know.
How does someone get this opportunity like you do?
Just make your father work. I don't know.
Ew.
You guys are absolutely fucking killing it! This is what I'm talking about. I stopped checking my trust wallet, man. Shit's going up by the thousands. I'm about to have a fucking heart attack up in here. You guys are insane. Single
pen, and the reason this is a $700 pen, and the reason I bought it, I actually bought 3 of them. I got one for myself, one for my brother, and one for my dad. And the reason I bought it is because 1, it feels good to have a
Yeah, I'll remove it if I have to.
pen, and 2, most people don't have a $700
Or they won't claim me because they won't even see me.
pen, and it just is a constant reminder to myself that I'm better than everyone, and that I am just a winner. This is a 7.
Right now I'm in Panama City, Panama, and you see me here in this video touring a condominium that's being built that I recently purchased. Well, I didn't purchase the entire thing. I purchased a portion of it through the blockchain, through decentralized financing.
You purchased part of this building on the blockchain?
Right. So instead of me putting up all this money to buy the entire thing and going through escrow and all that goofy shit, I just used Web3 to purchase however much that I wanted to, and that's it. And as this property appreciates, so will my money. It's a smart investment. I'm gonna teach y'all, if y'all wanna learn how to do what I'm doing. This is how you get into real estate, get involved in real estate without having hundreds of thousands of dollars or even tens of thousands of dollars. You can start with something like $100, all right?
Oh, this is an advertisement for their fractionalized ownership of property bullshit. Yeah, what a nightmare. Why did he buy so many pies? Are you fucking kidding me? He buys these goddamn pies and then he sells them at the farmer's market for a markup? That's disgusting. Fuck you. You should be banned from the farmer's market. You have destroyed the spirit of the farmer's market and therefore you should be shunned. Farmer's markets are amazing and I love them, and if you do this shit, I hate you. A farmer's market is such like a fun place for people to come and hang out and sell their goods. If they have like a little garden and they want to sell some stuff, or if they're a farmer and want to sell their stuff directly to the community, people bake pies and baked goods or have little crafts. This fucking guy here playing his goddamn saxophone like a badass. Like, this is fun. It's community. Yeah. It's like a thing where you don't go there because you want to get the best fucking deal. You go there because you want to be part of the community and, like, you know, buy things or sell things to other people in the community that you made or grew yourself. Like, if you do this, fuck you. Fuck you so much. Hydrate. Oh, Jesse, thanks for gifting 5 memberships on YouTube. Thank you. I appreciate it.
When I was 5 years old, I realized it was
Artisan pies. Look at how fucking lazy his thing even is. Did he even pay or, like, sign up for a spot? It doesn't look like it. I think he just set this up without permission from the market. What a shitbag. Fucking $10 a slice. $10 a slice. Even if it was a homemade pie, that would be ridiculous. Like, even, let's say it was homemade pie. $2 a slice, minimum. Minimum. And it might be a good pie, but, like, just saying.
never made a mistake. Took time to create, took this money to make.
Asshole. How to make $3 billion in 6 months.
What would it take for you to get $3 billion within 6 months?
I'd take $100 million that I have, and I'd go to a big institution and say, hey, 10x my 100. That'd be a bill. They'll do that 100%. I'd take the bill and go buy $3 billion. $1 billion will buy $3 or $4 billion worth of real estate. We could do $4 billion this year.
I don't understand why you're thinking so small. I'm curious why you play so small when you have the opportunity. You just came up with the answer in 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Why wait?
That's why I come here. I came here from a therapy session.
Yeah. POV, you're on the worst date of your life.
I mean, you're never gonna, like,
a slice of cream pie is priceless. Funny.
beat the market buying individual stocks. There's very few hedge funds every year that even beat the S&P 500, which is like the main index for the economy. Stocks across the board are like pretty compressed right now because oil futures are pretty, obviously airlines have a really large fuel expense. They're really worried about their ability to pass that. PO stand for?
Initial public offering.
Right. Discount too thick. You can barely bench 135. So I went up quite a bit.
It's TikTok. It's almost certainly fake.
What's good money?
Pull up your account.
My phone is dead.
Okay.
What is good?
Until you can pull up your account.
This is one of those fake videos that's pretending to be a podcast.
Well, give us an idea.
Looks
Why does it
like-
have to be about me? Is a couple
I'm
million
losing my
enough?
voice.
Is a couple million enough?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Isn't that wild? Like nowadays, the market is so inflated that to get a 31-year-old girl,
you know what's funny though?
You need to have multi-million dollars, like to get a ran through 31-year-old like sweatpants Birkenbag. You
I
need
know.
to have multiple M's in the bank.
I know.
That's insane.
You can't just be funny and have a fucking 8-inch
Wait,
hammer anymore.
hold
What
on.
the fuck?
Hold on. Do you hate women?
No. I love
Are
women.
you sure?
I do. I love women.
What's your relationship like with your
I
mom?
have a great relationship with my mom.
Really? She
I do.
hugged you and shit when you were
I did.
little?
I was just talking to her right before this. Like right before I walked in,
Why do you find that so hard to believe?
I'm feeling a little anger, misogyny.
Oh, don't you
Here we
dare
go.
say that
Here we
word.
go.
Don't
You really want to
dare
end right
say
now?
that
We're starting to
word.
cook right now. This is what's going
I
on.
think when you were a little kid, something happened.
Everyone on the internet's a douchebag. What's up with that? Oh, is this another one who's saying 2% a day?
If you do the math with $15,000 and you compound that by just 2.5% a day.
Again, first of all, where do you think I'm getting $15,000? Where am I just being handed $15,000? Second of all, 2% a day is fucking impossible.
And you just don't withdraw any money and you just do that.
Like, if you could continually do a 2% gain every day consistently, you would be the best trader in the world. Like, no one does that. That's nuts.
By the end of 12 months, you'll have just over $1 million.
Wow.
Just growing at 2.5% a day. As an example, to close out 2022, I started an account with $2,400, kind of the average, what your typical person starting out would do.
Yeah.
And it was mid-November that I did that, and a month later, mid-December, I grew it from 2,400 to 26,000.
Like, the 2% thing has got to be an intentional strategy to get idiots to get into your thing. Because, like, 2% sounds like not a lot if you have no idea about any of this, but, like, 2% a day is an insane gain. That's insane. So it has to be there specifically to get people who have no idea what they're doing to come and buy your course or listen to your stupid fucking podcast or whatever.
The Somali pirate exchange method is getting us out of the suburbs. So listen up.
Have you heard about this shit?
Class is in session. So for anyone confused, the Somali pirates have an exchange in which you can invest in their pirate raids by buying them weapons or just giving them money, okay? And then if the raid is successful and they get ransom money from it, you get a return. I saw this article about a lady who invested a $2,000 rocket launcher and got $75,000 back. That is about a 3,500% return. But as an outsider, right, we can't just invest in the market. I'm pretty sure it's local. So we're going to need a middleman. But we need that middleman to fear us, right?
Yeah, I'm guessing that this is the intro to a scam where you think you're doing this but not. But even if you were doing that, that would be funding international terrorism, which I'm pretty sure the FBI is like not the biggest fan of.
Otherwise, he's just going to take the money. I would too. So you got to become well-versed in computer security, cybersecurity, SSH keys, because you need to strike fear into his eyes by hacking into one of like 10 computers in Somalia. Once you've done that and convinced him to be on board with your plan by giving him some split of the money, you're going to start transferring money to him to invest in the market and have him diversify that money within the Somali.
Unless you're Ollie North. True. Then you become a contributor on Fox. Railcast, thanks for 35 months, says, what on earth have I dropped into? Finbro bullshit?
Pirate exchange. And from there, you just got to let the Somali pirates do their thing with your money. And you're going to get a huge return on it.
I played Assassin's Creed Black Flag. I know how it works. I've played the minigame.
Robin, I appreciate it. I need to think about it.
What was it that you needed to think about?
I just want to think about it.
Was it the price, color, car, what it need?
I just want to think.
Can't fund international terrorism unless you join the CIA. True. True. Very true.
Yeah, see? What's his job? His job's to advance himself forward. Would you agree? Yes or no?
Yes.
Tell me you need to think about it. Listen, Robin, of course you need to think about it. I haven't given you enough information not to think about it. What I'd like to do is give you a quick 5-minute proposal of all the numbers, so when you go home, you got something to think about. Would that be fair? That's it. Watch. What did I say? You said I need to think about it. What did I say? Of course you need to think about it. I said I haven't given you enough information not to.
Fucking sales coaches.
In with the NHL ups now, so we
sell one home, then I'm hired. If I sell 5 homes, I ain't tired. If I sell 10 homes, I'm on fire. If you wanna sell your house, I got a buyer. Yeah. List with me and get some money. List with me and get some money. Open houses every.
This makes me miss Razzle Khan.
That's it, guys. The bank came. They said we want our cars back. They said you're in.
Fucking why'd you buy them?
Flex space real estate, it's really high risk. We want all our money back, and so I had to give them the cars. That's it, guys. The cars are gone, which means I have an empty garage. I have a bunch of old cars because those are the only ones I can afford now. I can't really afford to keep those anymore. So
driving an old Mercedes, Jesus, what a struggle! What a struggle for you to drive that Mercedes from 5 years ago. Jitara says, oof, you know what? I hadn't considered that the red pill, black pill crowd would fall into this Finbro shit because they think it'll make them get them their perfect waifu. Oh yeah. Yeah. There's a reason that can't say that, never mind. Terradona says Finbro hit by the repo.
Yeah, that's what's up.
You know that I word that you can't say on Twitch? Imagine you put an F in front of that word. Fin, as in financial, that's a word. That's a word for a reason.
Look, sometimes you need to know when to give up, right? And I think for me, this is the end of the line. Interest rates are at all-time high. Insurance premiums are high. The real estate market is really tough. There's not much money to be made. And so, as you guys clearly saw, my cars are going away. But remember, good times are bad. Cars are liabilities. Don't let anybody else fool you. Don't let anybody tell you they're assets. They are liabilities, regardless. Whether you pay for them in cash or you get a loan, you know, you still have to service them. You still have to get new tires, you still have to maintain them, and that's all money out of pocket. So on this hot summer day, oh, he's even blocking my neighbors. Sorry, neighbor. I hope you're good. Anyways, on this hot summer day, if you see these cars,
yeah, they have words and stuff.
You know that they were mine and they're gone.
Yeah, you're not allowed to say the I word on Twitch. How many credit cards we've opened in 2023? Oh God. Oh no, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You opened 8 credit cards in 1 year? Holy shit.
John Jay got sick
I haven't had 8 credit cards in my entire life, and I'm almost 30.
after writing 5.
Like, that's double what I've had in the last 10 years. I've had like 4 or 5 credit cards, I think.
James Madison wrote 29. Hamilton wrote...
Oh my God, they all have a bunch. Oh fuck. Love from, let's see. Ellie Belly with 3 months says, oh my God, my sub baby just entered its 2nd trimester. Congrats, you can start telling people.
The other 51. John Jay got...
Jesus Christ.
No problem. I told the IRS that I am non-taxable.
Oh, you told the IRS you're non-taxable? I'm sure they went, oh, our mistake. Sorry about that. Continue with your business, ma'am.
That's not the same thing as tax exempt, because if you're tax exempt, you're asking permission to not pay taxes. But I am non-taxable.
You sound really confident, so I'm sure that'll work out.
Because I am a living woman who does not reside in the DC zip code. I sent it as an affidavit, so I gave the IRS ample time to respond to me if they have any rebuttal at all. And
yeah, this is like Sovsit stuff. This isn't gonna work. She's gonna get fucked over with a bunch of fees and everything. It's gonna be bad.
I do not get a response, then I assume that, I can continue living out my rights as a non-taxable living woman. I had my affidavit notarized and sent it certified mail. This was September 3rd of last year. I did not receive a response. Oh, and I also included a W-8-BEN that I filled out with the best of my ability. And I included also a Google Maps printout of my exact coordinates of where I domicile, just to prove that I am not within the DC zip code.
Oh, well, at least you made it easy for them to come and arrest you. That's good. That's, like, kind, I guess.
And
if accidental. Here are my exact coordinates. Come get me, feds! H-Bird says her affidavit is probably on a bulletin board near the coffee machine so that the IRS workers can have a chuckle.
They could find me if they really wanted to. Oh, and another thing is I mentioned that I am not an employee of the state or federal government in any way. If I think of anything else that I missed, I will add it underneath this video.
My entire life. I've lost. AMC is the worst.
Oh my God!
Ever. AMC...
A meme stock thing. My favorite.
AMC is the worst investment I have ever made in my entire life.
I see you didn't invest in Bed Bath. Probably a good move.
I've lost over $25,000 at this point. AMC is officially over now that Adam Aron and the AMC board decided to release 40 million shares. It will not be possible for AMC to squeeze because dilution is just too heavy at this point. The worst fears are finally realized that AMC...
Here's the fun part. It was never going to squeeze. It was always a bad idea. Congrats.
Board will dilute the stock to the point of it being completely worthless. And they screwed over retail. They screwed over retail investors. And a lot of people don't even realize it yet, but they'll never recoup the money they put in there. AMC won't hit $100 a share. Won't even probably hit $50 a share for a long time.
Clown nose.
And that's the price we paid for taking a chance, for believing in a movement, believing in a company that lied to us, that tricked us, that said we're all for the little guy, when really they weren't for retail, they were for the hedge funds. Adam Aron, the CEO, is completely corrupt. He screwed over every investor who put their money in AMC, and people like me lost everything. So It's a good lesson.
By the way, I believe, according to Amazon, the costume you guys voted on for the subathon goal, the Triceratops, should be here tomorrow, I believe, unless weather... Yep, says tomorrow, so hopefully that'll be here before stream tomorrow. If not, next day I'll wear it. Actually, tomorrow I think I'm planning on doing a thing with Casafel where you won't be seeing my camera, because there's a surprise. But either way, whenever I get that, we will get a free costume day, so that's cool.
To learn in life.
The easiest way to make $10,000 per month every single month with Forex trading. Really simple. All you need to do is get funded $200,000. So
that's all you need to do. You just need a small loan of almost $250,000. We've all been there, right? Like, do these people genuinely not know that, like, people do not have access to this kind of money?
in order to do this, you're gonna need some help. So this is where you can get something like our E8, which will help you do this automatically. After that, once you're funded, all you really need to do is keep hitting 5% every single month, and that would equate to $10,000 per month. Sounds easy? Because it is.
Told you. Tell me the biggest lie an adult has ever told you, and when you figured out it was a lie.
That debt is bad. I plan on being heavily in debt in my entire retirement. Let me show you why. I'm max funding a life insurance policy all the way until I'm 65 years old. Now here comes the best part. I'm going to borrow against all of my money and spend it as extra tax-free income during retirement. The insurance company is projecting that I'll be able to have a six-figure tax-free income for pretty much the rest of my life. As you can see, I'll be millions of dollars in debt by the time I'm in my 90s. But this is a loan that I never have to repay because it's collateralized by the death benefit on my own policy. So when I pass away, this death benefit pays out and cancels out all the loans against my policy, allowing me to enjoy all this tax-free and still leave tax-free money behind to my family.
Oh
you
my
see,
fucking
debt is
God.
tax-free, and if you know how to use it, it can be a very powerful financial tool. Follow to learn more.
Jesus fucking Christ. Oh my God, is he just continually doing intentional fucking accidents to get cars? Oh no! You idiot! You fucking monster! Gnome Pickle says all you need to do is get return rates that financial experts call higher than anyone can ever see unless they have sold their soul to an extraplanar being. What a fucker. The strange fire that took your M4. I hear something. Oh, just grabbing anything. But love you. Wow. And all he kept doing was buying stupider and stupider cars with it. That's unfortunate. Oh.
Nationwide, and I booked an appointment with a mortgage broker. I've gone. I once walked into Nationwide, and I booked an appointment with a mortgage broker. I've gone in there with a mortgage advisor who works for the bank, and I said, "Yeah, mate." I said, "I need a mortgage." He said, "Well, what's your job?" I said, "Don't have one." He just looked at me like, "Mate, are you for real? Are you really here to waste my time?"
Insurance fraud is magic, apparently.
But I had a pen and a pad, and I always carry a pen and a pad. I was taking notes. I was like, "Look, all right, so you're saying I need a job? Fine, no problem. I'll go and get one. Write that down." I said, "What else? What? How can you help me get a mortgage? Since we're here, we might as well talk now because I've got an appointment with you." He said, "I can only lend 5 times your salary." I said, "No problem. Write a note.
You could have looked this up. Why are you wasting this person's time?
5 times the salary. What else do I need?"
You literally could have been like, what multiple will they give you depending on your income for, like, mortgage loans? Like,
So
what
I've
the
gone over,
fuck?
you need a solicitor, blah, blah, blah. I've gone over all of the steps. So now I've walked into that bank not knowing how to get a mortgage, but I've been able to come out of the bank with my notes, knowing everything I need to get a mortgage. And these are things
I fucking hate
New York City. Your biggest expense in New York City is going to be food. And I got a way you could eat for free the best food.
I can get a slice of pizza for $1 pretty much anywhere. I think I'm fine.
And you're going to love it. What you do...
It's not going to be great pizza necessarily, but it's probably fine.
You stand in front of a nice building. People that work at nice buildings eat food. They order it, delivery guys. And you act like you're on your phone. You know, hey, you say a bunch of big numbers. You know, I want the compound interest dividends. And when you see these delivery guys pull up, you give them that sign. And interest on it. And
that's... At least that one... Don't do that. Don't steal people's lunch. Don't steal people's food. But I will say, at the very least, that one's not stealing tens of thousands of dollars from a bank. It's stealing chicken wings from someone, which still isn't good. But, you know.
When you withdraw cash in Australia, the banks want to know why, so let's go tell them the truth. How much? Around 6,000. What is it for? My missus thinks I cheated on her last week. She's doing my head in, so I need to like give her some cash and a necklace. She doesn't like flowers, she just likes designer handbags and shit. No worries.
Why would you need cash for that? You could go buy designer shit with a credit card or a debit card or whatever.
Why it's important for the bank to know, it's money.
I have to ask.
I've got to go to a beauty salon to bleach my arsehole.
Yeah, there we go.
There's a bleaching package, and yeah, they said you can make it up to 3 shades lighter. Drugs, the devil's lettuce, you would know.
That's what you want me to put John Bernard?
I don't deal it personally, I just connect people together.
Whatever you do,
okay.
You know, that's not a smart thing to have them put. Marcus Drake says, is it moral to steal delivery from tech bros? What about landlords?
What's the money for?
Yeah.
Does it matter?
We need to ask customer why.
I need it for steroids. Some.
Don't pay off your house.
I can't.
You use the equity in your own home to buy 2 smaller houses. Use the equity in those houses to buy 4 single-family homes. You use the equity in those single-family homes to buy 8 teeny tiny houses, barely even a trailer. That's 15 houses. Congratulations. You've just unlocked the 14 homes inside of your one big house.
My mind is blown. So how do you keep up with all the tenants and houses?
No, you don't. You just hire a property management company. You don't have to know a single thing about realty.
How powerful is that?
You don't have to do any work, you don't have to know anything, and you don't even have to own them. Sure, you got 15 mortgages, but you're not under a mountain of debt. You're under a mountain of tools.
This is satire. This is making fun of this kind of podcast.
So let's keep the party going. Let's get smaller.
Well, that's as small as you can go, really.
Dream with me, Tom. You take those houses and you work them down to a house that's about this big. A shed, really.
Who would ever live in that?
A Peruvian guy. From the mountains.
Why does he have to be from the mountains?
High altitude. They're smaller up there.
So could you not just pull anyone from a mountainous region?
No, they've got to be Peruvian, so they have a reliable source of income.
What? You're talking crazy to me.
They're making all that money off of Machu Picchu. That thing's like a slot machine that's coming up cherries every time.
You want to put Peruvian guys in sheds?
No, Tom. I want to put Peruvian guys in sheds.
That's fucking hilarious. That's one of the better, like, satires of Finbro podcasts.
Enough is enough! Enough is enough! Enough is enough!
They're not raising the price of the Costco hot dogs, are they? Because, like, if they're not, if the price is going up on that, something, like, there's some problems that are about to happen. That goddamn Costco hot dog is the backbone of our economy, and if it goes up, we're all fucked. Oh god, Jordan Peterson forgets his password.
Forgotten password, let's try that. Security question. What was the name of your first pet?
Well, let me guess the bit. Well, that depends on what you mean by the word was, and your, and first, and pet.
Well, I'm not sure I understand the question. That begs the question, what do you mean by name? And what do you mean by pet? A pet is simply something you own. over which you have dominion, you know. By that definition, your body is a pet to your mind. It bends to its will. When you're born with your body and nothing else, and that's bloody hard. How you deal with that? But if you follow that through to its logical conclusion, then my first pet must be my body. Let's try that. My body. Damn it!
Called it. It's almost like I try and be funny for a living.
Let me show you how not to buy a car. You don't want to pay cash for a car. You definitely don't want to rent your car and lease it. And taking out a loan from somebody else's bank, you don't want to do that either. And for crying out loud, don't steal the car. So the answer is you're going to be your own bank. You're going to treat your money the same as you treat the bank's money. Now all you have to do is change one thing, and that one thing is where your money goes first. Don't put it in someone else's bank, put it in your bank. And once we put
How
it
much
in
money did he spend on this fucking smart board?
your bank, what we're going to do is we're going to take loans from your bank and we're going to buy the car. And instead of just saying, okay, I own the car now, what we're going to do is we're going to take the same amount you would have paid to the bank every month, and we're going to do something different. We're going to take that $963 that you would have paid to somebody else.
I'm sorry. If I'm paying almost $1,000 a month on a car payment, like, shouldn't I be, like if I have the income where it's reasonable for me to be like, I'm gonna buy a car that costs $1,000 a month, I wouldn't do that, because I don't like cars. That's, like, fucking crazy. But if I did, I'd probably be like, I make enough money that I should be in normal, like, investments. Like, I should have at the bank a person I talk to that, like, is like, where do I put my money? Like, I would invest in, like, normal things, not this bullshit. What the fuck?
Else's bank, and we're going to pay that money back into your private bank. The best part is, in doing this,
the biggest car payment I've ever had in my life was $50 a month. Fun fact.
you earn uninterrupted compound interest on every penny, plus you get back every dollar that you paid for the car. This is how you get back all the money for every car you buy, drive, and own, just like my book shows you. You want to learn more? Click in the bio of the video and watch it. It'll show you how this works. Let me show you.
9 to 5, or will you? Or do you work a 9 to 5?
Yeah.
And
I sue every job I get. Okay. Yeah. What I do, I go on the job. I've sued Singular before, AT&T. I got $40,000 out of them in 2006, July 6, 2006, for race discrimination and sexual harassment. Quid quo pro sexual harassment. Just niggas cracking jokes on the job, right? So what I did, I went and learned employment rights. My last two jobs, like
how it was a cheap car, put it over a long period of time, the whole thing.
Slaves worked all the hours they were awake for their entire lives.
Oh God, what is Eve? What?
In American history, in Egyptian history, in the rest
Fucking oh God.
of the world that had slaves, which is most of the world at some given point. I think, like, if they can do it, so can I.
Yeah, happy Martin Luther King Day, everyone. You fucking idiot.
Fucking broke. If you play fantasy football, quit. If you walk a dog, especially your girlfriend's dog, through the fucking neighborhood so you can pick his shit up, then you should find something else to do, and you might need to find a new fucking girlfriend. You mean to tell me you're gonna follow a 5-pound fucking dog around and pick his shit up?
Oh my God, the music is obnoxious on top of all the shit being said. Hydrate. I'm gonna deny the hats off because I'm probably gonna end soon, so save those points.
$10 million lake house. Got the jet ski, got the boat. We did this purely on the intent of bringing a bunch of pretty girls back and just having fun, getting drunk, having a good time. But we literally couldn't find one girl, not one girl to come. Money can't buy you happiness. I experienced that firsthand. And also, I thought I was a somewhat decently handsome guy, but now
Wait, all the red pill bros told me that all women are shallow gold diggers who just want dudes with money. Are you telling me that it really was about your personality and not being a big piece of shit all along? Holy shit.
I'm really starting to question it now. Yeah, comment if you think I'm like really ugly, and would you come to my lake house?
Again, what don't you get? It's not about your looks. You look like a perfect, like, you look normal. You look fine. It's not your looks. You're probably insufferable. Your personality is the fucking problem. Why is this so hard for some people to get?
6 minutes in. Let's go. How much you made, Noah? $9,300.
$400. $800 for the day. $770.
Ugh. Jitara says, I'll come to the lake house if he gives me some of the money he doesn't want anymore.
My day is 6 a.m.
This guy's... I can read his blood pressure from here. It is high. Oh my god. This tomato is ripe. Oh my god. His head's gonna pop. Is he okay? Jesus.
To noon, and I'm not crazy. You're crazy for thinking it takes 24 hours, just like some dude in a cave did 300 years ago. My second day starts at noon and goes till 6 p.m. That's day 2. And then the next day is 6 p.m. to midnight. What I've done now is I have changed and manipulated time. I now get 21 days a week. Stack that up over a month, I'm gonna kick your butt. Stack it up over a year, you're toast. Stack it up over 5 years, my entire life is different than it would have been otherwise.
Oh boy. Gnome Pickle says, let's see, Shifty Dude, do I want to come to your isolated lake house with you and your friends who I met a few minutes ago so I can get, pawed at for several hours? I think I'm gonna pass, buddy. And Kippy says, bro looks like the final Pam. I don't get that reference. He's manifested the time cube. True. It's true. Oh my god, Sam Bankman-Fried, before he did all of, or before he got caught for all the crimes. Do I have I have FTX, there's one. Here's one of my FTX fortune cookies. Why do savings accounts always generate such low interest? That makes no sense. That's not a fortune. Where are my other FTX fortunes? Here's more. I have them. I'm gonna get these fucking framed in a shadow box, I swear to God. There's so much more to come. Let's make it rain lo mein today. It's a Doge world. Lots of fucking FTX fortune cookie things. What are you waiting for?
Would you rather have an 850 credit score, make 4K a week for the rest of your life, or $2 million cash right now?
What? That's a no-brainer, bro. Get the 850 credit score. Money is limitless when you know how to play this credit game, yo. Stop playing around.
If I had $2 million or the other one, I could get a good credit score by continuing to pay off loans. This is like the Simpsons bit with like, but I wanted a peanut.
Y'all, get your credit up. That's one of the biggest things I would tell my younger self. Get your credit up. 850 credit score on a light day. Let's get it.
On a light day, what you gonna do with 850 though?
Bro, I'm gonna run it up from the bag. I'm gonna hit the Navy Fed. I'm gonna hit the Truist Bank. I'm gonna hit the Alley Carver. I'm gonna hit the Alliant. All these different banks. But you got an 850 credit score. There's no limit to the amount of money you could get, bro. Information changes that situation. Let's get it.
Hey man, let's run the play. Would you rather have an
And I don't know who needs to hear this, and I don't care if anybody feels some type of way about it, but I'm gonna put that out there. Did you know that if you bury a loved one in your backyard, that your house now is zoned as a cemetery? And you no longer owe property taxes, as well as you're no longer part of any HOA or any government.
This was like a thing that went around a while back. No.
Anything. Your house is a write-off it's tax-free on any upgrades to your house, and they can never take your house after that. Generational wealth. It doesn't matter if you default on your mortgage or anything like that.
None of this is true.
They can never take your house from you, ever. They can't take it from your kids. They can never take it. So think about this. Back in the day when you watch things like Wyatt Earp and the movies, they go out back and they bury, their loved ones in their backyard. When did cemeteries become a thing, right?
Cemeteries were already a thing at that point. Just certain areas didn't necessarily do them, or people wanted them on their family property.
Probably around the first war when we needed money and we instilled, war taxes, property tax.
Oh my god. People are so dumb. Let's do a couple more, and then we'll call it a night. I'm quite hungry.
The only property that you really have to save cash for is the first property.
That's right. Yeah.
Any property after that then just becomes about recycling equity of which that property is generated.
Screw Bucket, thanks for a $5 tip, says a toolbox weighs about 600 pounds if it's full of heavy tools. A mountain of tools would probably be at least 1,000 toolboxes. You're being crushed under a 600,000 pound of tools.
Rating. And this is why we're so big on not paying down debt, but trying to actually increase your debt levels, because as you increase your debt levels with assets like property that grow in value, what you're essentially increasing is your ability to be able to grow.
These influences are too young to have experienced really high interest rates. So much of this culture grew up out of these zero interest rate environment for the past almost decade. I'm so curious. Is this shit gonna continue? Because we're not in an interest environment where it's conducive to this kind of bullshit. So, I feel like maybe some crypto people are gonna learn some lessons about, I don't know, when the tide goes out, you see who's not wearing swim trunks. You know what I mean?
Wealth, because if you've got debt which is attached to properties, the more debt you essentially have usually means the more property that you own, or the larger the value of the property that you own. And as we know,
says it's illegal to bury a human in your backyard. It's also a good way to get accused of murder. Plus, if you do it wrong, it's a health hazard.
Properties grow in value over the long time. So if you've got $1 million in property growing at 10%, you're making $100,000 a year. If you've got $5 million in property growing at 10%, you're making $500,000 a year.
Yeah, and I've spoken about this before about even in my own property journey. Yes, your first, second, sort of third property is the hardest, but once you've got 3 properties in the market, and that could be split across 3 different states, and they could be a combination of houses and units, but let's just talk about property in general. When you have 3 properties in the market growing, and they might not all grow at the same time, but that's a hell of a lot of equity or capital growth that you are creating as opposed to just having one. And like we said, from the equity you release out of, let's just say 2 properties or 3 properties, it means you can quickly leverage into property number 4, 5, and 6. And
Jesus Christ, there's more and more. Gotta get more. Gotta have more. Always more. Fuck.
This is my bed where I sleep every night, and this is the Myrtle Broadway station. I was hoping it worked. During the day, I just turn music up. At night, just wait for it to leave and try and fall asleep before the next one comes.
Jesus Christ.
I am here to discuss artificial intelligence. AI is going to take all of our jobs and render us useless. And I, for one, am stoked. I hate jobs. I had a job once, and everyone there talked in weird voices. AI is going to 86 all of that. But we'll still need money. That is why I'm asking the government to step up and make sure we're breaded. We are proposing a small payment plan, or small PP, of $10G a month for every citizen so we can party and look hot and enjoy our free time.
Felt super deflated, and this is
is worth. Wait just 1 minute before.
All right, let's listen to a minute of this 80s sale guru, and then we'll call it a night.
How much do you think this advanced operating environment is worth? Wait just 1 minute before you answer. Watch as Windows integrates Lotus 123 with Miami Vice. Now we can take this Ferrari and paste it right into Windows Right. Now how much do you think Microsoft Windows is worth? Don't answer. Wait until you see Windows Right and Windows Paint, and then listen to what else you get at no extra charge. The MS-DOS executive, an appointment calendar, a card file, a notepad, a clock, a control panel, a terminal,
yeah, we
a
can rate things
principal,
in
a
it.
RAM driver, and can you believe it? Reversey, that's right, all these features in Reversey, all for just, how much did you guess? 500? 1,000? Even more? No, it's just $99. That's right, it's $99. It's an incredible value.
I don't know who Steve Ballmer is. I'm assuming a comedian or something. No, is he the CEO? CEO? Okay. That's pretty funny.
So what is the $64,000 question? Holy cow, I'm gonna have to tough it up now. Here we go. What the hell are we supposed to do about .net, Steve?
He's certainly got an energy, doesn't he?
Non-fungible plants.
Tell me again. And what?
Non-fungible plants.
Non-fungible plant.
So you take any type of digital information, like an MP3, like your music, like your latest Blondish track, you can synthesize that into a DNA molecule. AGCT representing the zeros and ones in a digital media. Now you have a physical DNA molecule, okay?
How much Adderall has he taken?
You take that DNA and you put it inside a plant. It's called transfection. Go inside a plant. Any of this living materials, you put the DNA inside there, okay? And now your music is literally stored inside the plant. And that's a non-fungible plant. So
what a dumbass. That is nonsense. That's the stupidest bullshit I've ever heard in my life. Alright. So thanks everyone for hanging out. Fun today, talking about nonsense. So, be cool. I'll be back tomorrow. Excited to see you guys then. I'm trying to think of anything else. I think that's it. Let's do this raid. Oh. Have a great night, everyone. Be excellent to each other and party on, dudes, dudettes, and other. Bye-bye.